Hello! Okay, hello and welcome to Crusader Kings 3. I've been looking forward to this for a little while, and Paradox very kindly gave me an early key. So I've been able to play this for the last few days, and critical reviews and critique and things like that are still currently under embargo until the release tomorrow. So I'm not going to be going too much into what I think about the game, although in the course of playing, obviously things are going to come out that I like and dislike and things like that. So I never played Crusader Kings 1. I've played a lot of Crusader Kings 2, and any of you watching that are familiar with my channel have probably seen some of that stuff before. I came to Crusader Kings 2 quite late, so a good chunk of the DLC had already been released, and it's been a while since I've played Crusader Kings 2 as well, so I don't have a great memory of everything that was included in each of the different DLCs. The reason I'm bringing that up is because the first thing that I can say about Crusader Kings 3 is it is very, very similar to Crusader Kings 2. I'm not saying that that's a bad thing. All I'm saying is, if you know how to play Crusader Kings 2, then CK3 is going to feel instantly familiar to you. Very little seems to have changed, although there are some definitely some improvements to the user interface, quality of life improvements. Some of the game systems have been simplified, which I personally feel takes some of the strategic and tactical possibilities away, but it also helps to reduce a lot of the confusion. And some of the things from DLC that were part of CK2 have made it over into CK3, such as things like the lifestyle focuses, and some other things haven't, which is really weird. But we are comparing here a brand new game with no DLC to a 10-year-old game that has about 10 different expansions to it. One thing you will notice is a lot more 3D stuff going on here. Crusader Kings 2 was very much just a map, and all of the portraits and everything were just kind of 2D hand-drawn. So we've got 3D models for all the portraits now, which is really nice. So you do have a few more options when it comes to setting things like the graphics, for example. You do actually have video options in there. So without further ado, we are going to jump into a new game. Afro, yes, I always find this with Paradox games, the music was always very loud. I did try turning it down. Let me just go in there and turn the master volume down a little bit, actually, because the battle sword clashing is a little bit loud. And then we'll turn the volume down a little bit more on the music. The music's not... Yep, that seems like it's probably fine. Yep, okay, that seems better. You probably notice a lot of the music in Crusader Kings 3 is also the music from Crusader Kings 2, although it sounds like they've reorchestrated quite a lot of it as well. So, okay, let us jump in. So much like in Crusader Kings 2, you have a tutorial. I've actually played through the tutorial, and it's not bad. As far as Paradox tutorials go, it's one of the better ones. And if you've played Crusader Kings 2, it might be worth putting the tutorial on because it's relatively quick and it'll just familiarise yourself with some of the changes. But to be honest, you can probably just fumble your way around and not have any problems at all. If you haven't played a Crusader Kings game before, then I definitely recommend playing with the tutorial. So you've got two starting dates where you can play from in CK3. You've got 867 and you've got 1066. Now you will notice that there are some very specific points in history and locations in the world where it gives you a sort of a here's a good start. So for example, we could play Wrath of the Northmen in 867, and it gives us the option of these 5 different rulers that we can play as, and it tells us whether their starting difficulty is easy, medium or hard. And they all focus on one specific part of the world. So in this case, we've got the British Isles, and we've also got parts of sort of Norway, Sweden and Denmark up there. And then we've got in the same year the Great Adventurers. That focuses more over towards the east, although it still does cover part of Iberia there. But then we also move over towards the east. We've got is that like part of Mongolia or something? Not, my geography is terrible, and you will notice that I'm going to butcher a lot of the names in this game as well. Then we've got the get this right, the Carolingians, which is basically sort of France. So we've got all of those there. Charles the Bold, King Lothair, Ludwig the German, Prince Karlman, King Louis II, and then we move on to 1066. So obviously we've got you know, the fate of England. So we've got Harold, we've got Malcolm, another Harold, we've got William the Conqueror, Sven of Denmark. And then we've got Rags to Riches over here, which again is pretty spread out around sort of Italy and Iberia, and a little bit of Ireland, so that's all over the place. And then we've got Iberia in pieces, which is, you know, northern Spain, essentially. But you can play as any ruler in 1066, or you can play as any ruler in 867. So literally you can play as any count, duke, king, or emperor within those time periods if you choose to. As for the game rules, you can sort of set some of these if there are specific things you want to turn on and off. Unless you've got Iron Man enabled, you cannot play with achievements on. That's pretty much the same as CK2. I'm not going to go through all of these because there's a lot of rules and they probably don't make any sense to anyone that hasn't played CK2 or a Crusader Kings game before. And if you have played a Crusader Kings game before, then you probably know what all of this stuff does as well. There's even character nudity. You can make it so that they're never nude. But we're going to leave everything as it is for now. You will notice that there are 3 difficulty levels. We've got very easy, easy, and normal. There's no hard difficulty. Normal is the only one that will allow achievements as well. But once again, you do have to be on Iron Man. Hisham, hi. This is Crusader Kings III. It is a new grand strategy game by Paradox. Obviously the sequel to Crusader Kings II. And it releases tomorrow. And I've got an early copy of it here. So I've decided I'm going to play Iberia in pieces. I did jump in and have a quick sort of mess around with this. I've got about 5 or 6 hours playtime on this, so I haven't gone super deep into it. But I've been having quite a lot of fun. I'm going to go in and play as the King of Leon here. It says it's got an easy difficulty. That's not necessarily that straightforward. And you'll see why in a while. One thing I have noticed, particularly if you play as any ruler, if you pick a specific leader, it'll actually tell you if there's anything they've got down here that'll make their life difficult. It'll say something like, you know, they start with too many holdings, or they've got no army, or they start at war. So you always know what's going on. And it actually shows you a little bit of information about your sort of parents or any significant family that you've got going on. So we're going to jump in as King Alfonso VI of Leon, and we will play things from there. I've waffled on long enough, so let's actually get into the game. Again, that lovely sort of watercolour artwork that the Crusader Kings game was well known for. So here we are. So this will seem quite familiar. We have a map. Now instantly as I've zoomed there, you'll notice a change. So this, one thing they have done is they've actually simplified a lot of the map modes. There are still a few, but they've made it relatively easy. So the default map mode now, this button's here, is the realm mode. So we can instantly see realms that belong to individual leaders. So we are the King of Leon, and this area here, surrounded by the blue border, is our realm. This contains all of our territory. And then we can see the realms of Galicia to our west, and Castile to our east, and then Navarra and Aragon and everything else. If we were to zoom out, then the map actually transitions into this nice sort of paper map, which makes it really easy to see who all of the realms are. But if we actually zoom in, then it will default transition into the terrain map. And the great thing about the terrain map is you can now actually select individual holdings. So when we're out here, if we click, we are selecting the entire realm. If we zoom right in and we click, we're actually selecting an individual holding, well, an individual county. So here we can see we've got the county of Benevente, and the county of Benevente has 2 holdings. It has the castle, or the barony, and it has a temple. And the temple is here, and the barony is here. So we've actually got one county with 2 different holdings. Same down here. This is a county with 3 holdings. We have a barony, we have a temple, and we have a city in there as well. So you don't have to mess around too much with the maps, because as you zoom in and out, it does it for you automatically. That is something that I actually like quite a bit. And then we can like hit the duchy titles and see where the individual duchies are. We can see where the individual kingdoms are and the empires. There's Hispania and things like that. Obviously, we've got faiths, cultures, and houses. Not going to worry too much about that right now. So what has changed? Well, mostly you'll notice that all of the buttons are gone from the top left-hand corner. They're all down here on the right-hand side now, but they are pretty much all the same buttons. We've still got the outlier over here if we want to have anything displayed on the screen. All of our resources along the top. So we've got our gold, our prestige, our piety, Renown, which is kind of like prestige but for your entire dynasty rather than individually, and the amount of available soldiers that we have. And the ribbon is along here that tells us anything that we need to set. So what are we going to do? We are going to click on our character. Again, you see everything has got this nice sort of 3D portrait down here. And first thing we need to do is we need a spouse. Now it actually tells us up here, you are not married. We have no spouse. We have no children. Our heir is actually our brother, who is our rival. And he is the king of Castile. So we want to get our own heir. So we're going to go and get married. So we'll right click on ourselves and go find a spouse. And you can change them, the filter here, so we can look by relevance or alliance power or rank or age or any particular skill, even a sum of all skills, which is nice. If you just want someone who has like the most skill points, you can actually sort by that. What I'm going to do for this one though, like I said, I've played the first few years of this particular campaign before, is I'm going to go and marry Adelis here, who is part of House Ponthieu. If we click there and go to it, you'll see that this actually is Guide of Ponthieu. This will basically give us an alliance with Normandy, essentially. So we are going to go and arrange a marriage to you. So we'll send that proposal there. So lifestyle chosen. Let's have a just quick look at our traits here at the moment. So we've got 6 in diplomacy. We've got 5 in martial, which is really, really poor. 6 in stewardship. We've got 21 intrigue, which is like stupidly high. And we've got poor learning. So we are a schemer here. And so as we can see, we are actually an elusive shadow. Gives us a +8 intrigue. Our monthly intrigue lifestyle experience plus 40%. So what's lifestyle experience? Well, we'll get into that in a second. We're also calm, we're deceitful, and we are cynical. So what was added in the Way of Life DLC in Crusader Kings II were these lifestyle choices. So we can pick how we live our lives. Do we live a diplomatic life, a martial life, a steward life, you know, and so on. Now, if we look at some of these, for example, such as martial, you can see we have 3 different focuses that we can pick on. And there are also 3 different skill trees. None of them have any perks unlocked. If I did click that button, if we go into diplomacy, you can see the same thing again. We've got 3 different focuses, and none of these skill points are unlocked. If we were to go into intrigue, because of our intrigue education, we gain 40% more experience in this lifestyle. So certain actions that you take will actually increase the rate at which you gain experience, and that experience allows you to unlock more perks. You can also see we've already got some perks unlocked in Torturer. This is because of our education. So we've got Dark Insights, which would give us 50% chance to gain either 1 intrigue or 1 prowess when we torture someone. We have Dreadful, that gives us plus 30% dread. So dread is a mechanic which is basically how much other people fear you. They're more likely to do something for you or not try and attack you if they're scared of you. And Divine Retribution, you do not lose piety or clergy opinion from torturing or executing others. So we've got 3 options here. We're going to play to our strengths. We are an intrigue character. We've got terrible martial, so there's no point just trying to win wars by fighting. So we've got 3 options for focus. We've got Skullduggery focus here. That will give us agent acceptance plus 10, which basically means that when we're trying to get somebody to join us on a scheme, they will get a plus 10 influence boost to whether or not we can get them on board, and it gives us plus 3 intrigue, which is fantastic. Or we could go for temptation focus, which gives us plus 20% fertility, 10% attraction opinion, and 20% seduction power. Or we can go for intimidation focus, which only gives us 2 intrigue, but gives us another 30 dread. We're going to go for Skullduggery focus, because agents are going to be really important to us. We are going to murder our way to the top, basically. So there we go. We have selected our focus. You can change that once every 5 years. We can click on this little flag down in the bottom left-hand corner. This will open up the, what do they call it, the realm panel. You can also open the realm panel on the right-hand side, which will show you all of your vassals, but we'll go into that. So we can see our primary title here, because we are the King of Leon. We can see any titles that we can create, and we can see the line of succession down here as well. We can also have a look and see any claimants against those particular titles. And if we click on our ourselves. We can see our dynasty here. If we go and click on the dynasty flag, we have a few options here. We can see what our reputation is. We can open the dynasty tree just like in CK2, so you can actually go and see your family tree and work out who is related to who. So a lot of stuff going on here. Not going to get super deep into this. We'll do things as we move along. So let's go ahead and have a quick look at our council. So these buttons down the right hand side, we've got the realm tree, or the realm view, which allows us to see all of our vassals of different levels. We can also see all of our holdings, and we can see the lines of succession. This is also where we can change the laws if we have the appropriate tech to do so. Like, for example, we could pass limited crown authority right now if we wanted to, but I don't think we need to rush into doing that. Below that, we have the martial panel. This is basically where we can create and raise our troops. So we've got levies, much like in Crusader Kings II. Knights are a new addition, so unlike commanders, knights are these very specific units that can fight alongside your armies, but they're really, really strong, and they're more likely to wound your opposing knights. You're more likely to get prisoners, so they're just like heroes on the battlefield, basically. And then you've got men-at-arms regiments, which are essentially the same as the retinues were in CK2. So they are standing armies that you pay maintenance for, and they are raised all the time. Although you do have the option, when they're not reinforcing and you're not at war, you do pay a reduced rate of upkeep. You've got mercenaries that are companies you can hire for money, and you've got holy orders, which if you're in a holy war, you can get them to come and join you for free. One thing that you will notice has changed is there is no option to raise your own levies or raise your vassals' levies. That's something you could do in CK2, and it was actually very important because a lot of the time, if you went to war and it was possible to win a war using only your vassals' levies, you would only raise your vassals' levies and not your own, for two very good reasons. One, when you raised your vassal levies, you didn't pay the upkeep on them, your vassals did, so it didn't cost you any gold, but raising your own levies cost you money. And secondly, it meant that if you were losing men in battles, they weren't your men, they were your vassals' men. So if at some point you decided you wanted to attack one of your vassals, or you wanted to stop your vassals getting strong enough to challenge you for a war of independence, using their levies all the time meant that their armies would always be really weak and yours would stay really strong. There's no option to do that anymore. You either raise all the levies together, or you don't raise any of them at all. You can select a rally point, so you can see here our rally point is currently in Lyon. You can actually set more than one, but there is no way to sort of raise an army individually in a particular holding. There's no button just to raise this vassal's, I mean, most of these are our counties anyway. This is a vassal. There's no way just to raise a vassal's armies in a particular territory. So that is one of the big changes that you will see. There are a few other changes to the way battles and armies work as well, but we'll get into that when we get into a fight. I'm going to leave the council for now because I'm going to come back to that in a second. We've got our court where we can see all of the people that are basically, that we have influence over. They live in our land, essentially. And our prisoners tab is here. We're going to go ahead and search for a physician because we do need to get one. So let's go ahead and get that done, which actually is a decision. That's brought up the decisions window, which is this one down here at the bottom. And this allows us to do certain major decisions, which you can only do if you fulfill certain criteria. And then we've got some decisions that we can do, much like CK2. We can invite knights, we can convert our culture, we can go on a pilgrimage, hold feasts and hunts and all stuff like that. Tofizzle, I want to say some of the old Civ videos inspired me to get into streaming on Twitch. Thanks for the inspo. No problem at all. You are more than welcome. We've got a factions button down here. We can see that a faction to install King Garcia of Galatia onto the Leonese throne. So there's a faction to try and get the King of Galatia, who is actually our brother. There's a faction to try and get him onto our throne. It doesn't have enough power at the moment to do anything. I'm not too worried about that. And we have the Intrigue tab. Now, this shows us where our schemes are. So hostile schemes are schemes that we are doing against another character, like a murder plot, for example, or a kidnap plot. Personal schemes are schemes that we are doing ourselves, like trying to increase our relationship with someone. And discovered secret schemes is any schemes that we just know about that might be against us or might be against someone that we know. Now, a new thing we've got here is hooks and secrets. So hooks are basically secrets that you know about someone that you could potentially use to blackmail or control them. So there are two types of hooks. There are weak hooks and there are strong hooks. So nobody has any hooks on us. No, these are hooks we hold. These are hooks on me. Hooks on you. Nobody has any hooks on me. So nobody has any dirt that they could use to blackmail me or anything like that. We don't hold any hooks either. Now, secrets that we know. We have a secret. It says down here, our secrets. These are secrets that specifically affect us, affect our ruler here. He's incestuous. This character has sexual relations with close family members. And Infanta Uraka's lover. So this is our spymaster. Is also actually our sister. And he's actually our lover. So we have this secret, and obviously it's probably something we'd like to keep secret. Our spymaster actually quite likes us. Plus 43 opinion of us right there. Now we could go ahead and expose her, but exposing that secret destroys all the hooks, but it would also reveal our secret. Now you do have options where you can blackmail people. We can't blackmail there because you can't blackmail your own lover. And as well as being our sister and spymaster, she has an intrigue of 20, so we really want to keep her on side if we can. So the final panel that we're going to look at here is the council. So the council are all of your trusted appointed advisors that will help you to rule the realm. And it also includes your spouse, which we don't currently have, but we will get one very shortly. As usual, you will find that mayors and counts and dukes all want to be on the council, but there aren't enough council spots. There are only 5. The best I can tell, they haven't added the functionality from CK2 where council members get to vote on various things because the laws and everything has been far more simplified. So who do we have here? We have our Archbishop, and he can basically improve our relations with our religious leader. He can convert faith in certain counties, and he can fabricate claims. Now this is a change from CK2 because in CK2 it used to be the Chancellor that would fabricate claims based on your diplomacy, but it's now actually based on your Archbishop. And you can't swap this guy. It depends on your religion, but you can't actually replace him with somebody else. And you can see here, our Realm Priest does not endorse our effects. Maybe we want to suck up to him. Then we've got our Chancellor. Our Chancellor can improve our relationship with people who are outside of our realm. He can also improve our relationships with people who are inside the realm. And he can integrate titles if we have any titles to integrate. We've got our Steward, who can either collect taxes, which gives us bonus income, increase development, which reduces construction time and restriction cost in counties, or he can promote culture. And then we've got our Marshal, who can organise levies to boost the amount of available men. He can train commanders, which gives us chance of finding new commanders and improving our martial skill. And he can increase control in a county. So control is basically what leads to rebellions. If you start to lose control in a county, you might want to put your marshal in there to deal with that. That sounds like a very, very low plane going over the house. So sorry if that's I could hear that over my headphones. And then we have the Spymaster, who can either disrupt schemes, so she tries to reduce any plots going on, support schemes, which is the opposite of that, or find secrets. So we already looked at secrets and hooks. So you can actually try and discover some other people's secrets. For once, it's actually given me people here with decent skills. Normally, the Marshal has like 1 Marshal. And he's actually not too bad. So his Marshal is, yep, 13. That's pretty good. You would make a better Steward than our current Steward. And our current Steward actually has 17 Diplo. So he would be a better... So we've got 12 Diplo and 10 Stewardship. We should swap these guys around. So I'm going to swap you with Mayor Teobaldo. If I can find him. Mayor Teobaldo, your Chancellor and Vassal. We'll swap them. Swapping is better than firing, because if you fire someone from the council, they get very upset. But if you swap their positions around, they're fine. So now we have 17 Diplo and 12 Stewardship. That's fantastic. I don't think anybody has better Marshal than the current Marshal, so that's fine. So that's all sorted. So now we can finally unpause the game. We do have a list of issues at the top here. It says it wants us to increase our opinion with, actually, funnily enough, Mayor Teobaldo. Let's go and do that. 95% chance of this working in 19 months, so we'll just click Start Scheme and that will start automatically. I know I said I was going to unpause, but then I remembered this thing up here. I wish this would go away. I've got the user interface scaling on 90%. You can reduce it down to about 70. This is on 1920 by 1080. But you do notice when you've got like windows open, it takes up most of the screen. It's still a very big user interface. So we're not endorsed by our Archbishop. I don't care. Realm will lose land when a vassal dies, which is a problem, but that's our sister, so because our sister's heir is our brother in Castile. We'll deal with that in a moment. We can declare certain wars. We're not going to declare any wars, and the reason for that is I tried this previously. The problem that we have right now is that even though our army power is relatively equal to that of our neighbours, whenever I've declared war on someone, the game says to me, hey, you are vastly superior to them in terms of army power, go to war. And I go to war, and then 2 minutes later, they're allied to France, and I've got the entirety of France's army bearing down on me, and that's not good. So we're going to play to our strengths and use our intrigue to get where we want to go. We can create some titles, the Duchy of Leon and Asturias, but we don't have the gold, so we're not going to bother with doing that. Powerful vassals demand positions on council. They always do. Tough luck. Council is currently full. Heirs in line to inherit titles, we're not bothered about, and we're also in line to inherit these titles. Don't care about that. You can, at any point, hit refresh, and it'll bring any of those things back that you've dismissed. So, what do we want to do here? We want to get rid of our brother, because our brother, the King of Castile, we are his heir. So he's the eldest brother, we are the second eldest brother. If he were to die, we would inherit Castile. Excellent. Let's go and arrange that. So we'll right click on him and we want to murder him. And we only have a 22% chance for this to work. There is only a 37% chance of this being secret. So let's go ahead to our council. We'll take our sister and we'll get her to support schemes. And that should boost things up a little bit. So if we go over to our brother now and murder, we now have a 52% chance of this being kept secret. 37% chance of it being successful. We're going to start the scheme anyway because we'll get the option to change some things later. Let's unpause because we want our marriage to go through. The faction against us has already been disbanded. Fantastic. Don't need to worry about that anymore. And we now have our marriage has gone through, so we've now formed an alliance with Duke William II, the Bastard of Normandy. If you don't know your history, that is William the Conqueror, who eventually goes on, historically, to conquer England. Greetings, King Alfonso of Leon. I will gladly accept your marriage proposal. You will be joined with my niece Adelaus in holy matrimony. May God grant you long life and many children. Excellent. So we have a wife, and we are now allied to Normandy, who we can't currently see because they're up here at the top part of France. If I had the realm view on, I'd be able to see that a little bit easier. And instantly he calls us into war because he's at war with England. To the impressive King Alfonso of Leon, I call on you to honour our alliance and join me in the Norman conquest of England. And sure, why not? There's no allies on England's side. There's no other allies coming in on our side. It's just us. So let's go and accept. So now we've got a good chance to raise our vassals. We can do that from the military tab here. We've got raise all armies. And there's also a handy little button here when you're at war. So we're going to go ahead and hit that. We can see our vassals, our levy size is 1321. So it'll take a few days to get up to that size. There we go. And here's the wedding celebration. With my marriage to Queen Adelaus, the realm expects us to throw a suitably extravagant wedding celebration. It is well within my right to collect a royal aid duty as part of this, but some may consider it tasteless to levy an extra tax during a time of jubilation. It is true that we don't have much money, and we could gain 75 gold quite easily here, or we could just go ahead and gain the prestige. Let's take the prestige right now, and we're going to select our army, and unlike EU4 where you have to mess around with transports, you just basically click and you'll get on transports automatically. There is a small gold cost for doing that. But we're going to go over here and try and siege out Cornwall and Devon. And here we have a result of our looking for a physician. So the world is full of dangers, even to a king and his court. As per my request, my servants have inquired after recommendations. Now they have assembled a few options to choose from. So it's giving us these two possibilities. So we've got Leonor. Leonor has 16 learning. Learning is usually what you need to be a physician. She is a renowned physician, actually, and an astute intellectual. She's greedy and just, but she's craven. Well, craven's fine. We're not asking her to go and fight a war. But yeah, she's just. Now, the other person we have is a charismatic negotiator, but she's possessed. She's honest, she's chaste, but she only has 8 learning and she's possessed, versus one with double that learning and is a renowned physician. So let's go and take Leonor. So she's now going to be our court physician, and she will actually appear in the court at the top. It's a minor title. I don't think this game has minor titles like CK2 does, where you can give people like, you know, Master of the Hunt and Wine Taster and all that stuff, just to boost their opinion. Ally joins war. So Petty King Conan Mab Alan of Brittany joined the Norman conquest of England. That is fine. Let's go ahead and get rid of these notifications. So how's our scheme going now? Because now that we're married, we've probably got a little bit more intrigue. No, it's still pretty low at the moment. So we can invite people to join this scheme. So this bar shows us our progress. Our scheme progress is on 1 of 10. And yeah, that's not a great success chance, but we can invite other people and say, hey, do you want to join this plot to kill the king? And if they do, we gain their plot power. Unfortunately, everyone at the moment refuses to do so. There's not an awful lot we can do about that right now. So we'll just let this tick on while we do this war. So Brittany's got involved in this one now. Last time, oh, we're actually losing money. Why did we just lose a... Is it because of the raised armies? It says we should be gaining, though. We are in debt. This is the first time I've actually been in debt. You're out of gold. This is very bad. You must cut your expenses. Try and fill up your treasury as soon as possible. Being in debt prevents you from doing many things, such as declaring wars, reinforcing men-at-arms, and will give you counter-corruption. Most obvious thing to do is to end any wars that might be fighting, and when you're at peace, you do not have to pay upkeep for armies. If you're losing a lot of gold, you might even want to consider disbanding some men-at-arms. If your faith permits, you may ask for a gold interaction on your head of faith. Borrow gold from the Holy Order decision. I don't think we can do that right now. The funny thing is, and again, these things change. My brother is more light than me at the moment. When I tried this last time, I had like a 95% chance to kill him off. It was really, really easy. So I'm just going to concentrate for the time being on trying to siege out Cornwall over here. So we're going to go and hang around in Launceston. Now we should actually be making some money. Now this particular siege has got a max of 7 months left. It works similar to the way it did in CK2 and EU4, but it's probably a little bit more basic now. So it just rolls over on a 20-day siege timer here. Yeah, we're starting to regain money now. Negotiate an alliance. We can negotiate an alliance with our brother, but I don't think we want to do that right now, because I want to take Castile. If not, we'll take the other kingdom. We'll see if that plot actually gains any power. So we've got 5 months left maximum on this siege. That could be reduced depending on whether they get disease outbreaks or whether they run out of supplies. Right, here's their army. They always do this. So I'm going to try and get out of here. Embark fee will cost more than the current gold. Yep, that is a problem. Let's just try and get out of here. They are going to try and chase me down. And we are going to sort of lose our army to this, but it is keeping the army busy. Can we get any gold from our Holy Order? I'm guessing we probably can't. Doesn't look like we have an option. In fact, we have our holy thing down here. Here's the Pope. Can we ask you for money? We can't ask for gold. He will not accept. Because we are sinful. Right, well the army's probably going to get decimated. We'll try and get off if we can. We'll probably... No, we're going to get caught anyway. That was very unfortunate. So our army's going to get absolutely smashed right here. But that's fine. We've actually lured England's armies all the way over here. Murder en route. When the time comes, my agents will need a safe escape route out of King Sancho's castle. Should anything go wrong, a detailed map of the local plains with all the hidden paths and caves would be an invaluable resource. So we can pay gold for that, or we can explore the plains ourselves. Now, this is interesting because it can actually give us stress. So stress is a new mechanic, which we'll talk about when the time seems right. Or we can abandon the idea. We're going to abandon the idea here. I don't like how unlikely we are to win this. Our entire levy got completely decimated there. That's fine. We don't have to pay to bring them home now. Hopefully these guys will manage on their own. So we'll just wait for our levies to rebuild. So let's go ahead and have a look at that scheme. Yeah, still only a 39% chance of it working. Nobody else wants to join it because people apparently like him too much. Now, what about the other brother? Now, unfortunately, his primary heir is also the King of Castile. So if we were to kill off King Garcia of Galicia, then our other brother would own both of these. And we don't really want that. We don't really want that because then he'll be very, very strong. So we really want to take him out if we can. Not too sure why he's... he rules a kingdom. Yeah, that's fine. He's close family +5. Spymaster +16. Intrigue +25. From agents +13. Yeah, it's normally a lot higher than that. Interesting. Well, we'll see what happens. Normandy is winning the war. They do have 6% war score. We will raise some vassals later and try and send them back over there if we can. But at least we're making a little bit of money in the meantime. He does have another ally because he's got Brittany on his side right now. Yeah, there we go. They're moving in with their armies. You've possibly got enough men here to win this. Although if he's going around with a doom stack, it's going to make this very difficult. Uninvited. One of my agents has acquired a deadly spider and arranged for a servant to hide it in King Sancho's bed before dawn. All they need is my go-ahead, and he's good as dead the moment the spider strikes. There's only a 39% chance of him being killed, and there's a 46% chance that the scheme is discovered. We can hold off, or we can... Let's try it. Let's just go for it. I'm not above restarting this stream if it all goes wrong. King Sancho's has survived the deadly spider's bite, although the spider attacked, a physician was quickly called and managed to stop the venom from spreading. Disastrously, the servant who planted the spider was found and my involvement was revealed shortly after. Yeah, so this campaign, compared to when I tried this last time, has gone, like, totally south. I'm going to restart, because this is just, like, this is just not cricket. So we're just going to exit back to the main menu. I'm going to restart and just see how different the start is. We're exactly the same setup. So we're going to go a new game. We're going to go back in with the same ruler. Because even though this is supposed to be an easy start with this character, if you can't just kill your way to getting some territory, it becomes a real problem. So we're going to do exactly the same thing. We need to get married. We are going to find a spouse. It's the same woman because we want that alliance with Normandy. We're going to... I'm not going to bother with the court physician for now, but we're going to look at the council. So our marshal is 15. You have 12 Diplo. You have 70. Yep, so that's the same as it was before. So we'll swap you with Mayor Teobaldo. Yep, so that's all the same. Is there anything else that we need to do here? Court. We want to... No. Council. We want our sister to be supporting schemes. We want to change our lifestyle focus to intrigue and skullduggery. And okay. Will the game have the option to start as anyone on launch? Yes, you can only pick from the 2 starting years, which is 867 and 1066, but you can click a little button down in the bottom left-hand corner and play as anyone. But you can't create your own characters. I know that was something that was added in a DLC in CK2, but you can't do that in CK3. So, right, now we'll go and unpause. So the faction gets disbanded. The marriage is accepted, which forms the alliance. There's the wedding celebration. This time I'm going to take the gold because we ended up in debt. There's the call to war. So we're going to go and do that. Let's have a look at killing off our brother again and see if it's possible. So we want, yeah, 74% chance of it succeeding now with 89% chance of it being secret. That's what we want. So let's go ahead and kill the bugger off. And we want to raise our armies as well. So we are up to 1257. That is the max. And I'm going to go over here. I might actually try and siege somewhere else out, like Suffolk or something. The problem is here, if you're sieging out Cornwall or Devon, it's very hard to see their army coming. By the time you see them coming, it's usually too late. And we've actually got 2 allies in the war this time. So we've got, oh, King Philip of France. Wait, you are allied to Normandy? Excellent. That could be very useful for me if I want to attack somebody. If I can get France to be my ally, that'll be great. Okay, cool. So not too bothered about that. We'll just give it time for that army to get up there. We'll allow that plot to progress. You can change the speed of the game, of course, down here, just like you would do in any other Paradox game, pretty much. And you've got some awesome buttons down here. You've got... you can find character and find titles. You can search for certain things. You've got in-game menu, which is just basically the same as hitting escape. And there's an encyclopedia as well, which is a quite useful little list of basically all of the game's mechanics, so you can read about everything here. And all of these little blue links, if you mouse over them, you'll get a little pop-up, and you can actually then mouse over the pop-ups. You can mouse over the links within the pop-ups, although sometimes it's a bit janky because you move the mouse and the thing goes away. So yeah, it's a bit janky sometimes. But let's get over there and hopefully not get destroyed by their army. I don't even know where their army is right now. It would be nice if we could take some land. I might just stay out there at sea for a little bit and wait until their army sort of makes an appearance, because they're probably up north fighting the Petty King of the Isles. Because the problem with playing as England is they're constantly getting smashed by the Vikings. Pop-ups within pop-ups within pop-ups, and it goes deeper than that as well. Okay, we can negotiate an alliance with our brother. We don't want to do that because we just want to nick... I mean, we can still negotiate the alliance and kill him off. Let's go over here and try and grab Suffolk, possibly. Again, I have no idea where their army is currently. So this might be a bad idea, so we do need to keep our eye on this. Maximum of 7 months left. I'm not sure whether this does their usual Paradox thing where the AI always wants to pick on the player. So they could... Yep, there we go. He's coming my way, look. You can literally have 1,000 AI armies and the hostiles will still come after the player. Look, he's going to catch me as well. Anywhere else he could have gone, but he decided to come straight after the player. And I'm fairly certain that Paradox games do this. I'm not sure actually if being in the alliance would increase the plot power. Empty council position. We've actually lost our chancellor now because he was either killed or captured. He was captured. I mean, we could try and get him back. Can we ask for him back? No, doesn't look like we can. Okay, we'll just have to get a new chancellor. You are my knight. Who's got the best Diplo? You're actually my knight. Well, yeah, I guess so. So let's go ahead and get my chancellor. And I'm actually going to put you on domestic affairs. We'll try and make sure our own people like us as much as possible. So we did take a bit of a smashing there. Our allies turn up just in time to go and do a bit of kicking here. Now, here's something that I hadn't mentioned before. Armies. This is one of the changes that has been made in CK3. It's a little bit difficult to actually see when we're not in a battle. We have the ability to change commanders. We can't do it right now because we're currently retreating, but we can change commanders. We can see how many units we have in the army and what type they are. If we had men-at-arms, which are basically retinues, or we had any mercenaries, they would show in here as well. And we have the usual buttons to reorganize the regiments within the army. If there's more than one, we can split the army up into half or split it into new armies and split off special soldiers and all that kind of stuff. But what you will notice here is that there is no flank and vanguard. So in CK2, you used to have the vanguard in the centre and a flank either side, and you could split your units between them, essentially. Let's go and siege out Shrewsbury. You could split your units between those sort of three flanks of the army. You can't do that anymore, so they've simplified that by not having that in here. My last chance, Sancha. Who is this? This is the Queen Mother, so our mother. She has decided that her time in Leon has come to an end. The servants have packed her chests, and she has said her farewells. When Sancha goes, her claim on the Duchy of Portugal goes with her. If I want to press it and make her my vassal, this is my last chance to make her stay. Give me 1 year, and I will press your claim, or may your journey be swift and safe. Yep, she can go away. We've also got our courtier doing the same thing here. Ordono goes his claim of the Duchy of Portugal. So both of them have a claim on the Duchy of Portugal. We don't need your claim for that. We can get our own claims. So let's go and siege this out. Maximum of 6 months left. I don't know. Oh, their army's down here trying to unsiege Sussex. So that's fine. We'll stay up here. Who is this? I have discovered that Infantana Urraca's inherited contract obliges her to have more than you... Hang on. Let me try and read English. I've discovered that Infanta Urraca's inherited contract obliges her to more than you have collected. Time to right this wrong. So we can increase... And this is our sister, our spymaster. We can increase her feudal taxes because she's one of our vassals as well. She owns a barony beneath us. Or she would surely appreciate it if I let this slide. So we could gain a weak hook on her. Or we could just increase the taxes. It doesn't say that she'd like me any less if I did that, so let's just increase the taxes. So here we are, uninvited. One of my agents has acquired a deadly spider and arranged for a servant to hide it in King Sancho's bed before dark. All they need is my go-ahead and he will be as good as dead the moment the spider strikes. So there's a 75% chance of success, but there's only a 90% chance of secrecy. So obviously there's only a 10% chance that the scheme is discovered. Let's try. Let's see what happens. King Sancho is dead by the lethal bite of a deadly spider. The spider struck not long after he retired to his chambers, and although the guards were called, no one could do a thing to save him. Thankfully, spiders do not talk, so the attack cannot be traced back to me. My little friend has done its work well. We gain 150 prestige, and we lose 44 stress. We didn't have any stress to lose, but if we did, we'd lose it. Anyway. So now, let's just pause up. We are the King of Castile. So you can see it all says Leon because it's all part of our realm. If we look at the duchy, well, the kingdom titles, you can see it is 2 separate kingdoms, but we own both of them. Now we have a problem now. We now have 7 of 5 holdings in our domain. And notice I've actually spelt it the modern English way rather than the old English way. So we need to give away 2 of our holdings. If we zoom in, we see any of these places that have blue banners on are our holdings. So we've got the 4 in Leon, and we've got 3 new ones in Castile. So we want to give 2 of them away. These are all count titles. We want to give 2 of them away. We're going to keep a hold of Burgos because Burgos is the capital of Castile. Yeah, things do seem to happen a lot quicker. I'm not sure whether that's because of like a reduced timeline, but yeah, it is a lot faster. So if we want to give these away, it's really quick and easy. We just click on them and we go, so this is a barony. We go grant 2 and we can just pick somebody at random. Let's pick somebody who's got good stewardship because they can sort of build it up. So we'll give you the barony. It is a female. That was probably a mistake because she could get married and we could lose it, but not overly concerned. And let's give it to you as well. You're just a random courtier. That's fine. So there we go. So now we are back below our domain limit. Allied combatant slain. A random mare. So can I not get you back? Can I request claim? Can I not ask for you back? Ransom. Will not accept because we're at war. Okay, so we might be able to get him back later on, but not right now. But we are the King of Leon. That is good. That gives us more armies we can raise as well. Which we may want to do. So let's go in and raise all of our armies. We'll get some more men now. There's another... The banner changes colour from a dark green to a light green when it's full. I'm going to go and move you down into Cornwall. I'd like to get the army together, but we will keep our eye on what they're doing. Yeah, the assassination percentages do still mean something, but to be fair, it does still work the same way, because when you have an assassination against somebody, anything over 100% basically just means it's guaranteed to happen. And you can still, I think you can still get over 100% if you get enough agents to agree to join. So what we should do now is actually have a look at the other brother, because we are his primary heir. So if we could kill this brother off, we could gain Galatia as well. So let's go and murder him. Now, it's worth noting, if you murder an adult, you lose stress. If you murder a child, you gain stress, oddly enough. Again, we've got an 87% chance of success and a 95% chance of secrecy. So let's go and jump in on there. We can also have a look and see if it's possible for us to get somebody else in on this. So there are some other people that might be persuaded. So like this mayor, so we've got an 87% chance. This mayor could be persuaded. And that would give him another 32. Probably one of the best ones. So what if we were to send you a gift? 140 gold. That's quite a lot, but we'll do it anyway. So that should get his opinion up. And then, is it automatic or do I have to invite you? We should see him appear in there now. So this Duke is actually an agent who's on our side, which is, you know, he's giving us 46% of the power there. Where is the guy that I gave the money to? I've lost him now. What was his name? Mayor Gutierre. Gain some opinion. Right, make sure I'm paused. Can I just ask you to join a plot? It's still not appearing in that list there. He's now refusing, so he can be convinced, but now refuses. I have nothing to gain. Oh, you're going to get murdered off. Took my money and didn't join. Going to stick a pin in you and then remember to get my vengeance and get my money back from you. But I still think we've got a pretty good chance of doing that. Let's keep our eye on up here, because I don't want to be caught out by these armies. So, what's the barony of Leicester here? I wonder if that's the actual old Mott and Bailey up in the city centre. If it is, this barony here, this castle, because Leicester never really had a castle. It had what's called a Mott and Bailey. And if you're not familiar with what a Mott and Bailey is, it's basic... Oh, that's going to give us some attrition. If you're not familiar with what a Mott and Bailey is, it's basically like a wooden fortification built on top of a hill with a moat around it. I think the Bailey is the hill and the Mott is the fortification. The fortification isn't there anymore, but I've been and stood on the hill. Yes, a pin today and a sword tomorrow. Don't mind the AI picking on the player a bit, but it needs to be toned down. The player is always the smartest person in the game. They need some extra effort. Yeah, I totally agree. It's just so frustrating when, like here, you see. I mean, okay, fair enough. It does make sense. Why go after a... He cannot do anything against those 5k stacks. So he's coming over here to try and do something against the only army that he can probably beat. That I can understand. But it does get frustrating when you feel like you are having to... You know, it does get very frustrating when you feel like you're having to deal with the attacks all the time. Yeah, he sent 2 armies this way. I'm not sure we're going to outrun him. Yeah, he's going to catch us, which is very unfortunate. So that's a shame, but we do have an army down here now at the same time, and we're picking on Cornwall. The war is at 56%, and there's more than enough allied troops over here to win this. He's now going to try and siege back Shropshire. So at least I am keeping him busy. Empty council position. So our marshal was killed in that little combat there. Who's got the best marshal? Another vassal and knight. I mean, we've probably got some powerful vassals want council positions. So this count, you're Craven, and you're a steward, but nothing else. You have 8 marshal, you have 5 marshal. Let's make it you then. So, Pedro. So that's going to be you. Assign. And then if he gets killed off, he doesn't like as much anyway. So if he gets killed off, we don't care. Right, let us go and move you down there. Ah, so it's that pirate Rob. I thought it was, but I wasn't sure. How you doing, Rob? It's been a while. And hey, Azumo, welcome to my stream of my Incest and Murder Simulator 2020. Let's try and get you down there. It would be really nice if I could keep all of my... Oh, that was bad timing. That was just bad timing. I was trying to, like, swing around and get my army together, but no, not happening. Wounded, my injured uncle. My uncle Nuno has been wounded and the injury runs deep. I fear that his body is not strong enough to fight this on his own. I feel death lingering by his bedside. Can't do anything about it. So, there you go. What have we got here? Did we actually siege this out? Maximum 1 day left. Yes, we've got it. And we've taken a prisoner, which we could just instantly go and ransom if we wanted to get a bit of money. We've actually got a few prisoners here. Let's pause and... You can only ransom... Well, you can't ransom one person at a time. But you can only ransom someone if they belong... If they have the same liege, you can only do one at a time. So, this is our sister. As Infanta Araka's belly grows, there can be no doubt. She is with child. She has said nothing, but could this be the result of our carnal relations? I must ask her about it myself, or I might never know, but I will always wonder. Well, we've got our own wife, so let's just hope the situation resolves itself. Greetings, King Alfonso of Leon. I accept your ransom offer and hope to see her return to me in good faith. Yes, so we get some free money. Let's go ahead and... We had somebody else that we could ransom off. You are 3 gold. You are 10 gold. Your liege wouldn't even accept. Oh, well, we might as well get the 3 gold then. Obviously, you're not thought very, very higher off. You are a treacherous villain, apparently, according to that. Where was it? I read that somewhere. Treacherous villain. Okay, let's get rid of you. So these armies are coming in again. We're keeping them busy, though, while these guys are up here. I don't know why they're going into the water. Yeah, so let's just try and get away from these. You did just get away, which is good. You've accepted the ransom. You're going to try and unsiege that. You will move over here. So yeah, we lost a few battles, but we're gaining money. How is the plot going on? 87% chance of success, 4 months remaining. Still says you can be convinced, but we tried that. There's nothing to gain. Yeah, we'll leave that for now. So let's get... Oh, noble veins unlocked. Right, what have we got here? Prematurely, the child was not meant to be. My sister assures me it's the way of life, but her hand lingers on her belly. She is no longer pregnant, so she lost the baby. That's not my army. Excellent. Although... Oh, he's got a 10k stack coming in there. Good work. So let's go in and siege Sussex. And did we lose... Yeah, we lost some troops over here. That's fine. 80% chance on this war. On this... war score here, I should say. So, yeah, England's army has just been shattered completely. Oh, no, they still have some units left. And that's the end of the war. So, victory. We won the war, led by King William, the Conqueror of England, against Harold Godwinson of Goodwin. King William II seizes the Kingdom of England and personally takes all the titles in southern England. Duke William II, the bastard of Normandy, became independent, gets the Kingdom of England, basically seized all of the titles therein, gained the nickname the Conqueror, gained 300 fame. Allies share 300 prestige based on their contribution, and increases his opinion of his allies based on their contribution. So basically, the reason it says 66% for my contribution is out of all of the allies, so it doesn't count William himself. If I was the only ally, I would have 100% contribution, providing I actually did something in the war. I would have 100% contribution, which means I would get 100% of that 300 prestige, and I would get 100% of the 100 opinion. But because we only contributed 66% of, so basically 2/3 out of all of his allies, we get 2/3 of that 300 prestige, and we get 2/3 of that 100 opinion. Although why that's been rounded up and that's been rounded down, I have no idea. But so be it. So the war is over. We can bring what's left of our army home. So let's go and do that. So that is good. So let's just get rid of all of this. So prisoners released. We've actually got our old... our old... was that our marshal? Okay, let's deal with this first. One thing at a time. Assassin. The time has come. My agents are in place. One of them will pay the assassin. The very night the deed will happen. Another will ensure the wall is unguarded. A third will leave a subtle trail of candles to King Garcia's bedchamber. Everything is in place. 87% chance he's killed, and there's only a 5% chance that the scheme is discovered. We are still his primary heir. This seems like a good chance for him to go down. So, fingers crossed. The plan worked, and King Garcia of Galicia is finally dead. Thankfully, my involvement in the crime remains unknown. I do love surprise visits. So, pause. Why have I sped the game up? What did I do? I mashed the keyboard. Look at the size of our country now. Unfortunately, once again, we now have too much land in our domain. So we need to give some of this away. We've got all of this stuff over here, which we do not want to personally control. So we've got 3 that we would like to give away. So let's grant some of this away. You've got 20 stewardship, so yeah, you might be nice to have that. So I'm looking for people with decent stats because we want them to grow these baronies if possible. See, I wish I could make this go away because I want to click on these buttons here, and you can't click on it when that's there. It's annoying. Now, don't want to give it to a count. I don't want to have double counts if possible. Pedro there. Pedro is... well, he's a steward, but he's not my steward. So there you go. You are now landed. And we have the final one here. And again, can't hit these buttons until this annoying banner goes away. It's not the size, Rob. It's what you do with it. But yeah, it was a very small army. My plan is to do hit and run and let Harold's army... let William's army do all the work. But while the AI's army is chasing me around the map, he's not unsieging stuff that my ally's getting. So your account, count. So lots of counts here. 16 stewardship. You are somebody's marshal, but that's fine. There we go. So now we're back below the domain limit. Fantastic. That is looking pretty good. We can create some titles now, if we wanted to. We do have the money, so we could actually create duchy titles, and I could hold on to those. So I could create the Duchy of Castile. So let's go ahead and create the Duchy of Castile. It'll cost us some gold, but it'll give us 300 prestige. And now, if we look at my titles, I actually control. So where are my titles? So my primary titles are the Kingdom of Castile and the Kingdom of Galicia. Well, my primary title is the Kingdom of Leon, but I have these 2 as well. And obviously, if I die, these are going to go to my sister. So I really need to get my own heir right now. I need to make sure that I've got somebody that will carry on my own lineage. And eventually we'll be able to form the empire. If we look at the empire map, we'll be able to get the Hispania Empire and hang on to our titles a little easier. But for now, we really need to concentrate on getting our own heir. We could attempt to seduce... which one do we want here? We want the... Well, we can seduce. We've got... Oh, 0% chance. How come that is so low? She is honest and she dislikes that we're deceitful. She's paranoid and dislikes that we're deceitful. So that scheme ain't going to work. So what about if we romance? 0% chance. Oh dear. Let's send her a gift. She will accept because, of course. But we need to start making some babies. So this is just giving us a warning here that our primary heir is actually of the wrong dynasty. That's not our primary heir, is actually our mother. That's weird. Because I'm sure that was showing... Oh, the player heir. So if we died, we would play as our sister. Because our sister is the same house. She's the same dynasty. So we'd carry on playing. If we died now, we'd carry on playing as our sister. However, the titles are going to go to our mother, the irrational zealot. Who may end up murdered. Let's see if that's possible. Wrong wife, it seems. Well, the wife was a strategic decision to get the alliance with Normandy, which is now England. So we are now allied to England. And are England still allied to France? So England is allied to... so he's defending against the Vikings, as always. He's allied to... Yeah, Robert the Old of France. So he's got an alliance... Yeah, King Philip of France. So that is a very, very strong alliance. So that marriage was worth it to be allied in this alliance group. Can I get an alliance with the Frenchie? Doesn't look like we can. Or am I missing a interaction somewhere? Diplomacy. I know there are certain rules for getting an alliance. You have to have some like relation connections and things like that. Yes, Rip Mum. Did our army get back home? Or are they still they're still out at sea? It's like, come on fellas, you're taking forever. We won't have to assassinate Mum if we get an heir of our own. So, you know, it's all down to her now. Can we do anything? Can we do anything? Probably not. Because these will just not... I mean, we could have done if I'd have changed my lifestyle focus to give me something a bit more there, but... we will see. It might still happen. She has to do her queenly duties. So we'll let the game run on for a little bit now. So England is... Are you still at war? Yeah. He hasn't called me into this war. The last time I tried this, he actually called me into the war. And then before I could even get on the boats, he instantly lost. And England became Norway. And William got busted back down to the Duke of Normandy again. Intrigue perk available. So we've gained enough XP now to pick one of these perks. So we've actually got some points here in Seducer. We've got plus 30% fertility, plus 30% seduction scheme power, seduction scheme chance against your own courtiers and guests plus 50%, removes your attraction penalties in seduction schemes, removes the tier difference penalty from your seduction schemes, and removes the incestuous penalty from your seduction schemes, targeting adults over the age of 19. Now, does that 50% chance against courtiers and guests also count as our wife? Because she's not technically a courtier. Fabricate hooks, and we're not bothered about that. But what I like to go for is this murder scheme power plus 30%. That's what I want to head to. So we'll take that. We just want to murder people. This is the best way in CK2 on CK3, and probably CK1, which I never played. Just murder your way to the top. Call to war. There we go. To the impressive King Alfonso of Leon, I call on you to honour our alliance and join me in the Norwegian invasion of England. Sure. So allies, France and England versus Norway and Gudrud Haraldsson of the Isles. I love butchering these names. It's the one thing in life I'm good at. I thought a courtier was anyone in my court, but do Paradox. That's the problem. And the last thing I want to do is waste that point and then fight. Because this is what I guess I could have saved and tried to find out. But this is normally what happens. I'll take the option and then it'll do nothing. So, there we go. She's my own wife. I shouldn't need to seduce her. She's just get doing what she needs to get doing. Let's see if we can land over here and just siege out the Isle of Man. I mean, how big's the garrison going to be? Like, what, 6, 7 farmers? Instant war ending pop-up is pretty nice. You don't get to choose stuff like EU4. As far as I can remember, and like I said, I haven't played CK2 for a while, but Crusader Kings was always like that. You kind of decide what you want to take before you declare the war. And then if you win, you get what you went to war for. It's not like EU4 where you find any reason, because EU4 you get a CB, you go to war for any silly little reason, and then depending on how much war score you have, you can use that as bargaining power to take more stuff. In CK2, you go to war for a specific CB and say, I want this. And if you win the war, you get this. You don't have the option to negotiate for anything else. So you either have a win, where you get what you went to war for, you have a loss, where you'll normally lose some prestige, and you might even get captured and locked away in a dungeon, or you have a white peace, where both sides just walk away with bloody noses. My spymaster, which is also our sister, approaches me with a wicked grin. My lord, this pouch contains a powder most nefarious. If sprinkled on top of something, say a gift of Sancha, it leaves no trace but will affect whoever it touches with a weakness and ill humours. Bear in mind, this is her own mother. We're asking our spymaster, our sister, to kill off her own mother here. We could pay 25 gold for this, and she will be not feeling well. Our mother will not be feeling well for 7 years. And the murder scheme gains progress. We've got the gold. Let's pay it and see what happens. No one's coming over here to take the Isle of Man back, so that's fine. So, neighbouring ruler won a war. That's the guys down here to the south of us. So that doesn't make too much of a difference. What I might do when I have enough money is just create the counties and give some of the other baronies... give some of the other counties away if we've got any. A meal to die for. My agents have prepared for weeks. The cook has been bribed to look the other way and the poison has been acquired. The duck was gifted to Sancha alone. It will be rubbed with the poison and the bed of herbs will mask the smell as it is served. The deadly bitterness will be the last thing my target ever tastes. I'm not convinced about this. There's only a 46% chance of this working. There's a 61% chance. Well, there's a 40. What's that going to be? A 39% chance that we get discovered. I'm going to put a pause on that for the moment and see if it is possible for us to increase that plot power. Because we've got no agents involved in this at all right now. You have nothing to gain. So you're still not going to get on board, even if I bribe you. See, most of them have nothing to gain, so I don't know why it says they could be convinced. If you have a hook on them, if you have a way to bribe them, that's a good way to get them on. You don't even need to pay them. You can just say, hey, I've got some dirt on you, help me or else. Okay, Afro, thanks very much for dropping by the stream. You'll be seeing lots more CK3 content on the channel in the future. So I'll probably be starting a separate video series, separate from this stream. I'll be doing like a Let's Play So, we can't get any more agents on that. Let's just wait a little bit and concentrate on this war. We've got maximum 3 months left on the siege of... Oh, no, just 3 units, that's fine. Maximum of 3 months left on the siege in the Isle of Man. So England's actually losing this war at the moment. But he does appear to be winning a few battles, which is good. Now, I did have a quick go as an English Petty King of Mercia, on the 867 start. And one thing that was very, very tricky there was the Viking rulers start with some special troops, and they have like armies that are 6,000 strong, and it's just ridiculous. You just can't go up against them. So you are a count. You want independence. You might find yourself on the end of a knife at this rate. Faction. So that is the only faction against us. It is weak at the moment. We can try and sway him. Try and increase his opinion. So this will be a personal scheme. Just try and get him to like us, basically. How's this siege going now? So you can still assault fort if you've breached the walls. That's still an option. Okay, so we've actually managed to take that. That's turned some more score around. Now then, can we get into Galloway here? I don't know where all of their troops are, so I'm trying to be a little bit careful here. We're crossing a strait here, so we don't have to worry too much about going for a swim. So this will take a maximum of 6 months. The time has come. My agents are in place. One of them will pay the assassin the very night the deed will happen, and another will ensure the wall is unguarded. A third will leave a subtle trail of candles to her bedchamber. Everything is in place. Still, those chances are still not good. I'm going to keep delaying it. If we do this, we don't want to get caught doing it. That would be very, very bad. We might be able to turn the tide of this war here. Sway, the good count. While hosting lords and ladies from realms near and far, some opportunities to portray my vassal, Count Diego, in a good light have presented themselves. My lord, pray tell, who is the most dignified person you have heard of? Count Diego, without a doubt. So we can spend 75 prestige, and it'll increase his opinion of us by 10 for 5 years. Well, me, of course, and I could gain 75 prestige. No, we'll keep building up on him. We'll get him out of this faction, if at all possible. Now then, I'm not too sure where all these armies are. Now, who is in this war? So it's basically Norway up here and the Isles, not Scotland, even though there's a lot of fighting going on there. But yeah, it's red versus blue, basically. So that should be relatively easy. So let's get out of that. So as you can see, if we look on the war, we can see what the war is about. So it's the Norwegian invasion of England. Is it not going to tell us if we click the Enforce Demands button? So King William keeps the Kingdom of England, and King Harold, the Viking, loses his claim to it. If it were a surrender, King Harold seizes the Kingdom of England personally and takes all titles in Northern England. So yeah, the actual war goal is always set before the war starts. So there are a couple of smaller armies down here. Not bothered by them. They're too small to really be a problem. We're taking a little bit of attrition here, but that's hardly surprising. No, I'm not liking... She is ill anyway, because we did poison her. Frozen grief, moderate penalty, stress gain, personal scheme power -20. And she's not feeling well. She's got a severe health penalty. I'm not ready. I'm going to stop that scheme for now, I think. Yet nobody else even wants... I don't think anybody else even wants to get on board with it. Yeah, it doesn't look like we could actually get anybody to help. So let's just go ahead and abandon the scheme. It's fine. We could scheme against somebody else. Who was that mayor that took my money? You took my money, you fearless blackguard. Will act against you and others according to his personality, which is primarily determined by his personality traits. Yes, I don't like that you took my money. Do I have a reason to imprison you? No, it's an act of tyranny. Only a 41% chance to murder this guy. Let's have a look. Does anybody like him? Is anybody willing, any agents willing to join? Someone's become an experienced fighter. We've got a notable guest. Are we paused? Yes, we are paused. Yeah, nobody wants to join that. Weird. Okay. My secret exposed. My rival, Count Muniu, has exposed my relationship with Infanta Araka to the world. As they point their fingers and shout their slurs, I feel no shame. I only lied to keep my sister safe. What I do feel, however, is fear. What will happen to us now? Who are they to judge? We lose 30 opinion of this count because he's exposed my secret. We've gained the trait Adulterer and lost 1 level of devotion. We've gained the trait Incestuous, which I thought we already had, and lost 1 level. Oh no, it was our secret, but now that's out. And the Queen loses 60 opinion of us. And yeah, so you... Ah, right, so you're actually her husband now. She's married. Would she be upset if we were to murder you? Bear in mind that would mean you're literally killing your own husband. And he's lowborn as well. Who are they to judge? Right, let's unpin you because that's useless. Would anybody be willing to join this? Apparently they would. Your sinful acts come at a cost. That's fine. You would refuse. You could be convinced, but you find it immoral. Yeah, there isn't really a lot of power. We'll leave that as is for now. It's not the worst thing that could happen. So, we are an adulterer. Reduces Catholic opinion of us. And we are incestuous. Reduces Catholic opinion of us. If we go ahead and look down here. So, these 3 buttons down at the bottom I didn't really talk about. So, this is the dynasty button that we've already seen. So, this is your faith button. And this basically shows you what the doctrines are for being part of the faith. Tells you what the different sins and virtues are. There are some different virtues you can take. So it makes honest a virtue and deceitful a sin and things like that. And there are all these different doctrines. So if you go against these things like kinslaying, close kin is criminal. If you kill like your own family and stuff like that. We can try and suck up to the... After the Pope doesn't dislike me terribly. Doesn't really like me either. And this final one is your culture. So this basically replaces... well, not replaces, but this is basically the technology from CK2. And essentially what you've got here is for each era, you have military, civic, and cultural and regional techs. The green ones are ones we already have. Yellow ones are ones that we can get. And you can focus on a particular... Well, only the cultural leader can choose the focus. Now, I am the cultural leader because I, killed off my brother. It looks like we're currently working on Royal Prerogative, which will allow us to enact High Crown Authority Law and Absolute Crown Authority Law. I'm not bothered about that so much, to be honest. What might be more useful is increasing the levy size. So let's go and work on Burrs. Having larger levies would be useful. So let's at least try and finish this war. And we still want to say our wife really does not like us right now. I mean, what we could try and do is... We're already an adulterer. So we could just try and get a bastard and legitimize them. It doesn't necessarily have to be a child with our wife as long as it's legitimate. As we're already an adulterer, we don't really have anything to lose. So let's go ahead and look at the court. And see who we've got in here. Unfortunately, the court... Oh, we need a physician as well. Unfortunately, we don't have... Oh, unite the Spanish thrones. The Spanish thrones will be united once more. That is definitely something that we should pick. But, yeah, the court. I don't seem to have the option now to... like, select specific people. I guess we can just do a search. We'll do that in a second. Let's go into these decisions. Unite the Spanish thrones. Let's have a look here. So, the Spanish thrones will be united once more, and this time under the banner of Leon. We'll gain 750 prestige. We'll gain the law high crown authority. Every Spanish kingdom title you own, except your primary title, will be destroyed, and their territories will become de jure of your primary title, Leon. We meet all of the requirements, so let's go for it. Yeah, find a woman who owns land or a queen. I'm obviously not a queen that's married to a king that is powerful, because that can be bad. A united Spain. Once more, the thrones of Spain have been united under one king. The false monarchs have been decrowned, and proud Leon stands stronger than ever. One day I shall pass from this world and go to heaven, yet my legacy will remain on earth forever. They will call me King Alfonso, the father of Spain. There we go. We're now known as the father of Spain. So this is the Kingdom of Leon. So just looking at my titles there, I'm the Kingdom of Leon. We also have the Kingdom of Castile and the Kingdom of Galicia, the Duchy of Castile. Excellent. So, let's go and have a look at our find characters. So, we want adults, we want females, we want preferably unmarried, not imprisoned. And see who we've got here. Preferably someone younger, because we want someone who is fertile. Everybody has a negative opinion of me. That's a good start, isn't it? Everybody has a negative opinion. Relation, all. Literally just looking for a baby factory at the moment. Mayor of Tintagel. I've been there. Also in Cornwall. I mean, ideally we'd like someone who's the same culture group, but it doesn't really matter all that much. The reason I was looking at that one is because her opinion is only negative 15. She's distinguished and cynical. Doesn't like me much. Oh well, let's try. Let us go for seduce. 50% chance. I'll take a 50% chance. That's evens. I'll take even odds. So let's see how that goes. So let's go ahead and unpause. Oh, our mother has died. That is a shame there. So our... Yep, our glory gained a level of fame. Okay, everything is good now. Don't have to kill her off. It happened naturally. We've managed to grab that. Let's go and take on Carrick now. So a few bits are getting sieged out there. Court physician. The world is full of dangers, even to a king and his court. Per my request, my servants have inquired after recommendation. Now they have assembled a few options to choose from. So we've got this fellow here with 16 learning as a mastermind philosopher. Is paranoid, chaste and generous. Or we've got this fellow who is a misguided warrior, a holy warrior and a novice hunter. I'm not sure that I want a zealous, gluttonous, wrathful, misguided, holy warrior hunter as my physician. And your learning's only 9. Yeah, we'll go for this. He's Italian though. Yeah, okay. Let's let him on board. Let's see what happens. How long have we got for this siege? Maximum of 13 months. Where are all of his armies? Is that the only army he's got down here? Faction created against us. Court position's knowledge increases. How many factions are there against us right now? Is it just... Oh, there's 2. Too weak to send an ultimatum. Wants lower crown authority. You want a lower crown authority? We're already... Well, yeah, we're level 2 because it just went up automatically when we formed the new kingdom. Oh, that's fine. They're not really going to be able to stand up against me. Especially as we have England as an ally. Although he's fighting in a war right now, but I think that's going to be fine. So we're just going to help England win this war. Are there any other allies in this war? Yes, France. I'm not sure if France is getting involved, but we should get a good chunk of prestige out of this. Level of devotion, sinner. Do you know what? I'll live with it. Pregnancy. Fate smiles upon me. My wife is pregnant and bearing my child. Excellent. A gift of labour. Everyone appreciates a gift, but perhaps I could come up with something truly unique that will make a real impression on Mayor Marie. So this is the one that I've been trying to seduce. An embroidery featuring her house crest. Commissioned poetry on the joys of life dedicated to her. A wood carving of a castle, or perhaps not. Now then, this is where you really need to look at their sort of traits and see what they would like. So she's hale. Gives her a nice small health boost there. She's an eager reveller. She's sampled intoxicating life of carousing and debauchery and is hungry for more. She's impatient, she's cynical and trusting. Is she bothered about her family? I mean, she's lowborn. I think she appreciates the physical pleasures of life, or at very least poetry. She doesn't appreciate architecture. She's not bothered about her family structure. I think because of the eager reveller, debauchery, I think we go for this one. Yeah, perfect for embroidery of her house. She doesn't have a house crest. Thank you so much for the poem of the joys of life you gave me. I can scarce remember the last time I received such a wonderful gift. There we go. Gains a budding interest. Now, if my wife hadn't have just fallen pregnant, that wouldn't have happened. I wouldn't have been that lucky. CK3's throwing me a bone here. It doesn't usually do that. Come on, men. Hurry up with this siege. They're almost out of potatoes and apples. And what looks like tortoise shells. Now they've got a disease outbreak. And that's going to speed things up. Right, they're moving in with 2 men. Oh dear. So you actually see that people who are ill now look ill. You know, it's actually shown on their character. Some of it's quite grotesque. Today I was given grave news. My sister has fallen ill with cancer. I fear this is the end. Only a miracle can save her. Now, we'll can't really do too much about that. We can't really do anything about it in 2020s. We certainly can't do anything about it in 1066. Well, 1070 now. We've actually passed on quite a few years since we started. Loba has decided... So who is this? This is our random courtier. Loba has decided her time in Leon has come to an end. The servants have packed her chests and she has said her farewells. With her goes her claim on the county of Castello Branco. If we want to press it and make her my vassal, this is my last chance to make her stay. No, not bothered. So what we can do now, actually, is we can start thinking about taking some more land down here in Spain, particularly Navarra, because this seems ripe for the taking. You are my cousin. I'm not sure killing you off would help all that much. Did they even know what cancer was back then? Probably not by the name cancer, but there are probably certain forms of cancer that were recognised. But yeah, I mean, now there are so many different things that we class as cancer. I'm sure a lot of cancer was misidentified back then as, like, you know, witchcraft and all sorts of random rubbish. So, Kingdom of Navarra. Do we fabricate and start a war with you? You are allied to the Duke of Old Barcelona, which is over here. Yeah, I'm not terribly concerned about that. So we could just go and fabricate on this kingdom. Do we even have a... Do I have a claim on you? Oh, our armies are raised. We can't declare a war while we have a raised army, which is fine. We'll wait until the war is over, and then we'll see if we actually have a CB. We might already have a valid CB, because he is a relative. I mean, we could always just try and, like, murder him and his family off, but we win a few wars, we've got a few powerful vassals, we might be able to get in and do something. Burgos Lament. We need those resources for the good of the troops. If one small village in Burgos have to starve, the heated argument between my councillors follows me out of the room. And Infanta Urraca, the representative from Burgos, greets me with tired eyes as I approach. Here, this decree will force them to leave you alone. So we gain 10 stress because we're cynical. We gain 50 intrigue lifestyle experience. The county of Burgos gains encouraged improvements for 1 year, and our sister loses opinion of us. But her opinion of us is pretty high anyway, and she's about to die. Or we can gain 150 prestige, gain increased levies for 10 years, and the county gains abandoned village. We'll do this one. We'll gain some stress. Now, as you can see here, our stress is now on 10 of 300. Stress actually goes up. So it says here, stress is a measure of a character's mental well-being. Characters gain stress when taking actions that conflict with their personality. Characters who gain enough stress will also gain a stress level, causing various negative effects that persist until they manage to reduce their stress. Every 100 stress a character accumulates also causes them to gain a stress level. Stress levels range from 0 to 3, with each level imposing increasing penalties to a character's fertility and health. In addition, as long as a character has at least one stress level, they are vulnerable to mental breaks. When stress overwhelms a character, they will experience a mental break, a personal crisis in which they feel they must do something to lower their stress no matter the cost. Characters suffering from a mental break will have several ways that they can deal with the situation, though many of them will have negative consequences. At low stress levels, these consequences are minor and easily managed. As stress levels increase, however, so do these consequences, eventually leading to insanity and even death. So yeah, we want to keep our stress down. The meat. I was sure to pass through Tintagel on a day of practice jousting. On the day of a practice jousting meet. So, gone all the way to Tintagel to practice jousting. Mayor Marie's officers are milling about, instructing young knights, and I find Marie wandering among them. Whatever intentions I had, her attention is clearly on her duties as the lady of these soldiers. Let's take a walk on the battlements or discuss strategy. The scheme... So, everything goes according to plan. The scheme gains smouldering chemistry, or she's not impressed, she gets awkward interactions. And we've got all three of those up. So, I want to hear all about your plans for the tax season. One of these knights could be made to look a real fool. So what would she want to go for? Probably one of these knights could be made to look a real fool. I don't know. I'm not entirely certain on this one. She's stewardship. She's got stewardship focus, so let's hear all about your plans for the tax season. Okay, Rob, thanks very much for dropping by to the stream. Enjoy RimWorld. So we'll wait for the response from that. Marie and I spent most of the day discussing our plans for the next tax season. After all, what good is an army if you cannot feed it? She laughed heartily at that. There was even more laughter as we both found ourselves engrossed in our many discussions. She's sure to remember this day. Smouldering chemistry. Okay. So we have a backup plan. A secret exposed. A shameful truth has reached the light of day. My acquaintance, Dunea, has an affair with my vassal, Count Enape. I do not see what the fuss is about. It is not as if lust is an unnatural affliction. Have we nothing more important to attend to? So, not really that big a deal, but if we start looking now at our intrigue on hooks and secrets... Oh, hooks you hold. Why do we hold a hook over our cousin's daughter? 1 week hook. What is the hook? Trying to find out what the hook is. I'm missing something somewhere. There's the hook. Yeah, it says I hold a hook, but it doesn't tell me what that is. Interesting. Okay, well, maybe that will come to light later on. Right. So, Navarre is going to be our next target. We still need to make sure that things are going well up here. I really don't think the Isles have got any armies, so to speak of. So we're basically just going to help out with this war. Try and get as much contribution as possible to get some prestige and make sure that William's opinion of us stays nice and high. Taking a prisoner in the siege, and the siege is won. Let's go on to Ayrshire. Now, you do have to make sure that you are sieging the barony now. So unlike in CK2 where you could only move in between counties, you can now move in between individual holdings. So you want to make sure you're sieging the barony. In any other court, you came all this way for me, my little firebrand, clad in servant's garb to avoid any notice. I find her in a secluded garden. She lights up as she sees me, and the sight of her lights me up in turn. The ratty shirt I had donned soon lies forgotten on the floor as we spend the whole night making sure my journey was worth the effort. Oh, well, that worked. She becomes our lover, gains 20 opinion of us, and ends our scheme to seduce her. It was as sweet as it was fleeting. She gains 20 opinion of us, and we end our scheme. So either way... Oh, we've laid with her anyway. So we can either have her be our lover, or not. Well, I'm going to say not. We don't need it now because the wife is pregnant, so that's fine. She could still get pregnant because we have already slept with her, so that could still happen. Now here's the we've got a daughter. We really need a son. So, but you know, we have got an heir. With a tired and yet blissful smile, Adelaus presents me with a perfect little daughter. One day, child, you will carry on my legacy. What name would benefit such a lady? Let's name it after her mother. Adelaide, and then that will probably give us a boost to how much she likes me. Well, she still hates me, apparently, even though she's just had our daughter. So we do have a child now. We prefer a male heir if possible. So if the woman we seduced has a child by us and it's male, we'll legitimize it. If not, we won't. Well, prestige is really nice and high now. Are there any decisions that we can enact? We can call a hunt. Let's call a hunt. We'll lose 33 stress. We'll get many opportunities to increase our prestige. It will cost us a bit of money, but that's fine. What we should really do is start spending some money increasing my holdings, building up my castles and towns and so on and so forth. Hunt the shot. The spear lies perfectly balanced in my hand as I judge the distance to the bore. My vassal, Count Gomez, is crouching next to me, hefting his own spear. I will bring it down. Now, my marshal is just terrible. Count Gomez doesn't have a particularly great opinion of me. His marshal is same as mine. If you step on the twig and cause it to startle, Gomez is sure to miss. Why would we want to do that? Let's have him... I don't need the prestige. Let's just let him throw it and gain the opinion of us. That's not a bad thing. Looks like we've got another faction against us now. Mostly this Liberty faction. This is the big problem here. We probably need to do something about this. So, Mère Marie is pregnant. We'll ask her about it to find out if she thinks it's ours or it could be anybody else's. Hunt, returning from the wild. The hunt is drawing to an end. We mount our horses to leave the hills behind us as the servants prepare the boar, another game for the journey back. In spite of our difficulties along the way, the hunt went very well. So, that gives us 150 prestige. Not as much as I was hoping for, but we do get a new lifestyle perk. Pick that up in a second. Of course it's yours, Alfonso. I worry that someone will have heard her, but we remain alone with the silence. Good, it is too. I suddenly have a lot to think about. The two of us and a child. The secret stays hidden for now. This is joyous news and must be shared. We'll keep it secret for now because we want to find out if it's going to be a boy. Available perk. Make sure I stay paused. So, let us go for this murder scheme power, which is what I was heading for. It's what I wanted. So it's always good to have schemes on the go, really, because they do actually help you to get experience and boost that up. We now have our share, so let's go and move into Kilmartin. We do have some prisoners that we could ransom off. You are worth nothing apparently, but we can ransom you off for a hook. So we'll do that. Gained a favour hook on Herbert of Cornwall. To the vile King Alfonso, I accept your ransom offer and hope to someday show you the same hospitality. That's a good deal. Right. We haven't used any hooks yet. We might need to do that at some point in the future, but for now we're going to continue just taking territory where we can. Probably just move over here into their capital. How long is this going to take? Maximum of 6 months, because it's a fort level 2. So take a bit longer. Your cousin King Antoso IV created the Cadet Branch de Say. No idea what that is. Will it tell me if I click on it? Not really. So, you are the King of Navarra. Really need to get Navarra. I need to get out of this current war. Need to start... Well, because once I have all of the Catholic land, then we can start going after the is it Sunni? Muslims. So start going after the Muslims down here. Okay, so let's unpause. Now it looks like these guys are actually raising some armies now. Looks like they went away to raise up some troops, although they do appear to be getting caught out by individual stacks. The Battle of Blything, that could go either way. This one is... Oh, wow, that's a lot of... Oh, this is the defenders. England is winning. It's a little bit weird because it looks like our allies losing because of the red. But that's because that is just defenders. Yeah, so we actually won that one. Yeah, so their armies are getting bashed up. Protecting against schemes. What's your step? As a ruler, there are many who would scheme to see you dead. Try to make sure that your subjects have a high opinion of you, but most importantly, always keep your spymaster loyal. This is a good point, actually, about schemes. So our spymaster at the moment is doing what? She's supporting schemes, but we don't currently have any schemes going. So let's go ahead and have her... disrupting schemes. So that'll help to reduce the possibility of factions or schemes against us. And we can also send her places to try and find secrets about people so we can use them against them. Let's move our army over to their capital. Of uncertain stock, Memory is carrying the burden of having given birth to a fearless bastard. It is terrible for an unmarried woman and her child, yet I cannot let it be known that I am the true father. Oh, what will become of my daughter? So it is another daughter, so we're not going to claim it because we want legitimate male heirs, not female heirs. We've already got a legitimate female heir, so we don't really gain anything from that. And that war is over. We won the war led by King William, the Conqueror of England, against King Harold IV of Norway. King William keeps the realm of England, and King Harold loses his claim to it. Allies shared 300 prestige based on their contribution, and where our contribution was 88%, so we gained 264 prestige and 89 opinion. Excellent. Get the army home. And then we can see about Navarra. We've also got prisoners. So let's get some money back where we can. Yep, you've agreed to that one. There's another 10 gold. Now then, why won't any... So you are an irrational empath. You are low-born. You are somebody... Oh, I was going to say, why won't they accept a ransom. Probably didn't have enough money to do so, but that's all of our prisoners ransomed off. Excellent. So let's get rid of all these pop-ups. And just wait for the army to get home. That was a good little war. That actually went quite well. So can we upgrade any of our holdings? Let's go and click on the arm. We want our primary barony here. What have we got here? Heresy, Cathars in Helgoland. Prince Magnus of Helgoland has announced that to the world that he and his vassals have converted to Carthism. Having become disillusioned with the teachings of the Catholic priests, the nobles of Helgoland, no idea what that is, no longer considers the clergy to be righteous and true. As Cathars, they believe that their new faith properly aligns with the will of God, and they are distancing themselves from their former religious institutions. What twisted mockery of our faith is this? Carthism appears in the Duchy of Helgoland. I mean, that happens either way anyway. Or we can convert. Close family may convert with you. I mean, who are you? You're all the way up there. Yeah, we don't want to convert to a religion right over there at the arse end of Norway. Of course not. Right, okay, so a few people already switching over. Right, you are back home, so let's go and disband all of those levies. Nightcore, hi, hello, welcome to the stream, where we are slowly murdering our way to the top of the Empire of Hispania. That is our goal here. We've already taken, well, we had one country, we've taken two more. So Leon is a little bit larger now. Navarra is our next target. So we've disbanded. Do we have a CB against our cousin? Looks like we do have claims, actually. For the Kingdom of Navarra, we do have a claim. Apparently he's inferior to us. Their military strength is inferior to ours. And has he just gone to war with somebody as well? He is now at war. So it's him and the Duke of Barcelona versus Brittany and Aquitaine. Aquitaine is massive, so we need to jump in there pretty quick. I'm going to give it a chance for his units to actually get... No, is he not going in there? I don't think we're going to have much of a problem with him, actually. Let's just go ahead and declare that war straight up. Declare the war. Using our own claims. Declare. We're at war. Raise all enemies. So we've got 1,500. Let's just go and move in here. Can we call in our ally? Yeah, we can't call in any of our allies to help in this. I don't know why. We could actually get some men-at-arms now. We can afford to do this. Let's create a men-at-arms regiment. And let's get some... I don't know, let's get some light horsemen. It's going to, again, cost us a good chunk of money, but it'll be useful. Now, he might be trying to get into our land, or he might just decide... Oh, that's interesting. So, all of a sudden, why is Brittany... See, Brittany's hostile to us. Right, let me work this out. Brittany's hostile to us, but why? Why is Brittany hostile to us? Or is it just because he's hostile to them? Because Brittany is not in this war. Barcelona is in the war on the opposite side. But not Brittany. Brittany is in the other war that he's in, I believe. Yeah, Brittany's in his other war, so we shouldn't be hostile to them. It wouldn't surprise me if the army that we're technically not hostile to just comes straight after us. Now, we are hostile to Barcelona, and he's getting these two armies together here, so that's not particularly great. Tidbits from far away. Visiting the local market, a merchant from the faraway land catches my attention. Come closer, my lord. Marvel at the treasures never before seen in these lands. I had to blend into the populace to get these beauties out. Truly a harrowing experience. This merchant might have more to give than marvels from afar. It must be interesting travelling as much as you do. Possible outcome, 33% chance that we convince the merchant and gain understands the people for 3 years. Gain 50 intrigue lifestyle experience. Or a 66% chance that we fail to convince the merchant and just end up spending 75 prestige. What is the other 1%, pray tell? Because that only adds up to 99. He will tell me what he knows. We gain 10 dread. You gain understand the people for 3 years. We gain 25% lifestyle intrigue and 10 stress. 30% chance that the county of Leon gains threatened merchant for 5 years. Or this should cover both the trinket and the information. We can give him 55 gold for no negative outcome, 3 years of understands the people, and 50 intrigue lifestyle points. That gives us scheme resistance as well. Yeah, sure, let's do it. 50 gold for some scheme resistance. That is well worth having. Where are my men-at-arms? Did I not create that? Yes, I did. It's only got 25 men in it so far. Can't actually see where they are, because they're currently unraised. Let's raise them up so that they will reinforce. I'm a little bit disappointed here that I seem to be unable to bring my... I'm a little bit disappointed here that I seem to be unable to bring my allies in. Is there any reason why I can't bring England into this? I joined all of your wars, literally. Call to war. He will accept. There we go. I'm just surprised I didn't get like an automatic pop-up saying you can call your allies to... Yeah. You can call your house member Infante Ramiro. Will not accept. That's fine. Not endorsed by the Archbishop. Titles can be created. Not bothered about those. Powerful vassals want council positions. Not bothered about those. Yep, not bothered about any of those. But he's now joined the war. That is helpful. So all I need to do is just stay alive until he gets some of his men down here. I was just expecting like a really obvious pop-up that says, hey, you can call your allies to war. They've got to be careful here because obviously France are currently trying to take this down here as well. So there's that siege over. Now your army's now broken this siege. So can we get in over here? Yeah, you're going the long way around now. That is being sieged out. So we want to try and siege this. This is going to take a maximum of 6 months. I can see England's armies are getting down here pretty quick. A secret exposed. My vassal Count Gil has accused my cousin Countess Teresa of having an affair with my vassal Count Rodrigo. I do not see what the fuss is about. It is not as if lust has an unnatural affliction. The crime cannot go unpunished. Guards. And everyone loses some opinion of us. Well, that's already happened. What happens if we pick this? The Countess loses 30 opinion of us for 10 years and goes to prison. All of her family lose 15 opinion of me, and I put her in prison. As I have a fair reason, no one will think me a tyrant. Well, I don't really need to do that, I don't think. Or she can gain opinion of me, and I lose 1 level of devotion. Well, I'm not bothered about devotion at this point. I think we're a little bit past that, really. We're a little bit past that being a problem. And she's been imprisoned anyway, apparently. No, I didn't tell you guys to move. What are you doing? It's because I accidentally... Sometimes, this is one thing I do hate. You right-click to dismiss these notifications. And if you just slightly misclick and you've got an army selected, you end up doing that. So that was a little bit annoying. In my court, prisoners, we have 2. Not accept the ransom. Okay, let's wait on that. So unfortunately, we can't take all of this land simply because we've got France getting involved and taking this. Is it France? Who is he at war with? I can't even remember now. You are at war with Aquitaine and Brittany. So there's Brittany. Where's Aquitaine? Aquitaine is this big kingdom down here. So obviously we don't really want to, you know, upset Aquitaine, but it might happen. At least we're going to gain 2 of these provinces. Now then, factions. We really need to deal with these. This one can send an ultimatum soon. They want the Kingdom of Leon. This is our cousin. Can we kill you off? Only a 26% chance that that's going to happen. Can we kill off your support? Unlikely. Faction military power 80%. These other ones are not too big of an issue. If anyone were likely to sway, it's going to be this guy. Let's attempt to sway him if we can. Can't send him a gift because I don't have enough money. But we may have one shortly. So we definitely want to keep building up our armies. Did we not actually grab this land? Who owns this province right now? Occupied by you. What about this one? Occupied by me. Not sure why it went a funny colour. Let's march our armies over here then. And try and get Barcelona out of this war, if possible. Be nice if we could build up these levies a little bit. My spymaster has come to me with grave news. While we do not yet know who, someone is plotting to kill my wife. Okay, well the existence of the scheme has been exposed. Let us go and... So we could increase this to size 2 if we had the money. We do not. We don't have the option to... we can destroy it, but we can't disband it right now. Oh. Ah, so it looks like one province has been taken. Or one county has been taken by Aquitaine. That is fine. So my army just needs to go and take Navarra, basically. We will get to Barcelona at some point. Yeah, this should work out for us. Now, he does have some armies around. There is a lifestyle perk available. Hostile scheme success chance plus 25. Disrupt schemes effectiveness plus 50%. That's probably what we need right now. Stop some of those schemes against us. So these guys are trying to unsiege some stuff, but I think that England's armies could probably deal with them. Our wife is pregnant again. Good. Right, let's keep our eye on that faction. Yeah, you still dislike me. Can we give you a gift? Only gains 12 opinion of us. It might just be a case that we have to just be ready for the potential war here. What is our... You're actually working on domestic affairs. Are you just not doing a very good job of it? Increased control in county. put you in there. And England's actually taking that battle for us. That's excellent. That means I don't have to do it. So far, obviously there's a few people here. I don't know how long you've been watching this stream, but yeah, CK3 is very, very similar to CK2. Like, most of the core mechanics are the same. Battles are far more simplified, though. Like, there's no messing around. You know, like I said, you can split armies in half and you can reorganize them if you've got multiple regiments, but there's no kind of individual raising of vassal levies, and there's no flanks and vanguards here. Spymaster discovers secret. You learned of Count Sanchu's lover secret. Your Spymaster's excellent intrigue skill led to this windfall. So this is you. You really don't like me. I really don't like you. So... blackmail. I can blackmail you. So select which of Count's secrets to use for blackmail. So we know about his lover. He will accept 100%. If he declines, his secret will be exposed. So if we look at our hooks and secrets, so it's this guy. So we're blackmailing him for a hook. That's what we're doing right now. So we're going to blackmail him. There we go. We've got a weak hook on him. Sway, the visit. I'm passing through Pravia, the capital of my vassal Count Fernando, when I receive an invitation to visit his castle. As I arrive, he welcomes me with a frown and a tour. One thing that strikes me is that the place is full of unfinished projects. I will stay for a while. Maybe I can help him out, or just show me to my rooms, which makes me lose some stress. No, I'll try and help him out. So now with this guy, we've paused up again. So now we've actually got a hook on this guy. So if we wanted to like modify his feudal contract or something, we can actually like use a hook and force him to do it. So it's always good to have some leverage on people. A library where the books are stacked in corners, unfinished building projects all over the place, most notably a whole dining hall, and a chest of gold just standing in the middle of a hallway. His castle is a mess. I think I can help out with the dining hall. 62% chance I'm successful, 37% chance I only make it worse. Again, we're missing 1%. Paradox are never very good at rounding. Here's another one that's only got a 99% chance. I will attempt to clean up the library. Learning challenge. Also, the stewardship challenge, learning challenge. I should warn him. Diplomacy challenge. I'm off to bed. Well, which is my highest trait? Diplomacy and learning are my two higher traits. So let's go for the learning challenge. Watch me go screw it up, because that's what sort of happens in these things. Bound books, loose documents, decorated spines. No matter how hard I tried, I could find no sense in the mess that is Count Fernando's library. This might not be great, but there are other areas where I can still help out. Well, we don't want the stewardship challenge, so let's go with the diplomacy challenge, because our diplomacy is still higher than our stewardship. As I explain the risks of keeping a chest of gold out in the open, Count Fernando's eyes open wide in realization. Of course it shouldn't be out there, thank you, King Alfonso. Things are looking good, and there are other areas I can still help him out. Well, let's go for the stewardship challenge, because you never know. So one thing I didn't point out at the beginning of this game is, in your council, once you have a spouse, you actually have some options with that spouse. You can have them assist ruler, in which case they will give you a portion of their skill points. So if we actually go ahead and look at our queen, you can see that she has high, I think, is it that average? Yeah, and everything else is poor. Average. What was a stewardship? Ah, I thought it was if it was average, but a stewardship's average is only giving us one. So basically, if they have low skills, they give you 1 in that skill. If they're average, it's 2. And I think if they're excellent, they give you like 3. Or you can ask them to just give you help in a specific thing. So because she's got high diplomacy or high intrigue, we could actually switch her onto that focus and give us a really big bump up. So you can actually choose what your wife does there. And what else did I want to look at? Do we still have a physician? Yes, we do. We still have some prisoners. Cannot accept her. Why won't you accept the ransom? It's unimportant fortune. Would you accept for a favour? No. Do you know what? I'm just going to let you release. Gain a weak hook. So we're letting that person out and saying, look, we're letting you out, but you owe me one. So that's what we're doing there. All it needed was some dedicated attention. I soon have Count Fernando's dining hall well on its way to completion. I have done all in my power to help him. Now it is time for bed. You have gained a favour hook on Garcia de Eza. I have no choice but to accept your conditions for my release. Fairly well. Neighbouring rule 1. Spymaster discovered. Yeah, we know about that one. I spot Count Fernando by the entrance, waiting to see me off in the morning. As I walk up to him, muttering to myself, he really fixed the place up, but he ruined my library. After a quick goodbye, I'm soon on the road and back again. But his opinion of me does go up. It could have been better. Right, the war's now at 100%, so we are going to enforce our demands, and it becomes ours. So we gain 300 fame. Our allies share 300 prestige based on their contribution. Obviously, we only had one ally, so he gets all of it. And we gain Navarra. The King of Navarra becomes our vassal. So be it. And our lands have gotten larger. So we want to disband our levies, which we will do very shortly. We're now the target of a holy war. Always nice. We're not over our maximum holding, so that's fine. So let's go ahead here and... oh, right, so this war was already going on. So actually, let's keep our armies up then. So Barcelona is actually still in this war as our ally. Could I call in England with this one? Potentially. So I'm assuming this is for... yeah. If you lose, the barony of Tudela will become theirs. So this is what the war is over. Would you be willing? Would you be so kind? Oh, you've got a nasty scar across your face there, haven't you? Are you blind in both eyes? What's going on here? Wounded. -1 martial. Yeah, severe penalty. He's not doing so great, is he? Call to war. He will accept, actually. So let's keep him in the war. Let's go ahead and also move our men-at-arms over there. This will join us. Good. What? Why? How? There is never a quiet moment. My daughter and heir Adelaide is so full of questions. I do my best to encourage her curiosity, but sometimes I cannot help but get exhausted by the constant stream of thoughts and queries. So she's curious. Do you know what I could do? I could give guardianship of her to this guy that I'm trying to butter up. This one here is growing, which I do not like. So how about I... offer you a ward of my daughter and heir. I mean, he's not a particularly good teacher. He's vengeful, but he's temperate, he's humble, and, you know, he's female heir. And you're going to be the recipient. He will accept. He'll gain up to 25 opinion. We just want to try and get these people out. He's happy to accept. Opinion hasn't gone up yet. Now what about these other people? Why is it so hard to... well, that's the minimum chance. You're an honourable lackey. Let's see if we can start getting rid of some of these people. Because they're going to cause us problems if we do not. So we'll look at our intrigue. See, if you would join, that'd be fantastic. 92%. That's his own spymaster. But obviously his own spymaster's not going to join. And you are what to him? Just a random courtier. Yeah, so that one's not going to work. What about the other one? This one. 26% chance still, but let's have a look and see what the possibilities are. Yeah, nobody really wants to get involved in any of that. Also not helping that we're involved in this other war. I guess throwing some units in there. Till death do us part. Queen Adelias has been murdered. My dear Adelias, I might not have loved you, yet I feel your passing more acutely than I ever thought possible. You were always there, my constant companion. Did I ever take you for granted? There are so many things left unsaid. I hope you find peace. Now, this means we now need to get... Alliance has expired. My alliance with King William the Conqueror of England has ended, since King Alfonso of Leon and Queen Adelias of Leon are no longer married or betrothed. I think he stays in the war, though. For now. Yes, he does. So now we need to find ourselves another wife. And going via alliance power would be useful. So this is Normandy. So yeah, marrying... You're only 10. Is there not one a little older? I get that is the strongest alliance, though. So, yes, let's go and send the proposal for the betrothal. An alliance formed. Excellent. So, literally, we were married to one member of his family who died, and now we're getting married to another. So, this is a little bit unfortunate here. There's several battles going on. We've got an empty council position, which is our spymaster. Has our sister just died? Test finished. What happened to our sister? She died on the 9th of March. I didn't get a pop-up about that. She died of cancer, so that was our sister, who is now unfortunately dead. So we need a new spymaster. I doubt we're going to get one that was as good as she was. Now you are in Navarra. What do I want to do with you? Let us modify your feudal contract. And I want more levies from you, and I'm going to use a hook. So now we'll basically just get more men from him. We need a new spymaster. Council. Who has the highest intrigue? A random courtier who doesn't like us. Is a known criminal. He's murdered a family member. But I don't mind that too much. Doesn't like me much. Or did we murder her family member? Maybe we want a better spymaster. Unfortunately, there aren't many people. What we could do is we could go to decisions. And we could... have we lost our position again? No. We could go to decisions and invite courtiers. Hold a feast. Invite claimants. Is it under court? Invite knights. Invite claimants. Not so good. Got some prisoners here we can ransom off. Really would be better if we actually had one who liked us. You're just a random guest. That's a shame. Our sister was really, really high. I think this guy would be better, to be honest. He doesn't hate me as much. No, it's going to be you. Let's recruit you to court. That's giving him a positive opinion. I don't care if she's got a negative opinion of me. She can for all I care. And he's on disrupt schemes. Okay, that's fine. Oh, pause again. Let us quickly dive in here. I mean, we're not going to get there in time to win that fight. We accept the ransom offer. Evens whether or not we arrive in time. No, we didn't, unfortunately. No, we did. We did arrive in time. And England's forces should get here to reinforce. So, modified vassal contract. Count Fernando is not swayed. 6 months you can send an ultimatum. You'd only gain 11 opinion. Well, you can't just say, hey, do you not want to be... What if I modified your feudal contract? So you didn't have to pay any taxes. So we might be able to get him out. Ideally, what we'd like to do is just get out of this war. Bear in mind, we're not going to be taking anything in this war because it's a defensive war. We're only at 15%. And who are we at war with? This guy, I suppose. So let's go down there and try and siege something out. Oh, I was going to say, you're trying to move some units down here. That's fine, I'll head them off if I can. Just going to try and intercept his armies if possible. He's just doing a bit better than we are in the mountains. Endless hearings. Not a day goes by without some new inconsequential matter being brought to my attention in court. Today it seems like Infante and Anso and Infante Ramiro's turn to waste my time with a petty dispute. The more I listen to their reasons, the more I am convinced the entire hearing is beneath my concern. Guards, get these ruffians out of my sight. They both lose opinion of me. I mean, they're at negative 100, negative 73 anyway, so who cares? I will teach you to waste the court's time. 79% chance that we gain 30 dread. I mean, dread is very useful because it helps to stop factions because they feed. And we gain weak hooks. Gain 300 intrigue lifestyle. Yeah, let's see if that works. Oh, it didn't work. We lose the dread. We spent prestige. We gained... Well, we did gain some lifestyle experience. That's fine. Where is my army? So my army's about to be joined. What commander's here? My army is about to be joined by one of England's armies. So that's fine. I think that's all right. Barcelona's getting a bit of a kicking over here, but that's not of a huge concern right now. We just want to start sieging some stuff out so we can get some war score here. Can we do anything about these factions? See, you like me now, but you won't get out of this. In CK2, there was an option where you could say to someone, hey, how about you stop supporting schemes? But it doesn't look like you can do it here. Got a hook on you. So how about I get more levies from you and use a hook? By the way, you can't put levies and taxes up together because you'd need to use 2 hooks. 87% chance here. That's going to take quite some time. I'm not sure there's an awful lot that we can do there. I mean, our best chance of stopping anything would be literally to kill off one of these people. 24% chance. It might be something that we just have to try and do and just see if it works. We don't have our spouse yet, so we've lost that. We've lost that additional power that we would have gotten from her Intrigue. We are betrothed to a bold villain. She will act against you and others according to her personality, which is primarily determined by her personality. Well, of course her personality is determined by her personality, that's fine. But she's callous and curious. Still in King William's court. Bermuda de Leon has a claim on the county of Coimbra. That's fine. Toledo, so they're trying to siege out the war goal right now, which obviously makes sense. I'm going to go over there in a moment. Hopefully England's going to... Yeah, England's sending his armies up that way. Good guy, William. Saves me having to do it. So we're already at 19%. I don't like the fact that... mind you, I think if this war is still going on while that's... And that's faction pops, that they will probably be hostile to William's armies, so that could be useful. How long do we have here? Maximum of 2 months left. And then we might... Yeah, they are going to catch that, but then we can just go and take it back, I think. My sister and my niece were captured. Right, because they're... Yep, that's fine. We'll go back up there and take that back. I was kind of hoping England was going to bring his armies up there. I don't know why he's kept them all down here. Maybe he's just sort of protecting me. But that's fine. So you're back down to just +1 now. Come on, what's going on with this siege? 10 days left. Got it. Right. Okay, now let's go over here and take this back. England will come with me, so even if we get there first, we'll catch them. They won't be able to really... Yeah, he's sending the rest of his army in, which is great for me because now they're all going to end up getting squished. Empty council position. This is our marshal. Who has our highest martial skill? This random count here. 18. Yes. Should definitely be martial. Really need to win this war and win it quickly. Faction targeting us has been disbanded. And it was the one that we were having trouble with. Now, why was it disbanded? No, it wasn't the same one, but one of the people that was in this one has left. Now, what are you doing currently? Because what you can do, right? You are my cousin and you are my vassal, right? So, can you be a commander? You are Infante Anso Garzies. I guess you can't change a commander in battle. But let's go ahead and see if we can do that after this battle. Put him in charge of our army, because maybe he'll get killed. Our friend Pedro died. But yeah, I'm happy for factions to get disbanded. Okay, there we go. So where's our army is here. Our commander is our marshal. There he is. And so Garcias of Navarra. You are going to be our new commander. And you may get slain in battle. We're also just going to temporarily split this army in half. And we're going to take half of it and move it into this province. And we'll just see if we can take them both back. Or should we just chase their army down? They're going to run away quite a bit, I think. A meal to die for. My agents have prepared for weeks. The cook has been bribed to look the other way. The poison has been acquired and the duck was gifted to Cristana. Alone, it will be rubbed with the poison and the bed of herbs will mask the smell as it is served. The deadly bitterness will be the last thing my target ever tastes. There's only a 24% chance of this working, and there's a very high amount of chance that we're going to get discovered doing this, so it's probably not worthwhile doing, particularly as of right now. The faction... Yeah, 2 weeks, send an ultimatum. We're going to try and bump this guy off. I think we just abandon this scheme for now. We'll leave that be. We've slowed things down considerably, so I think we're going to be alright. Did I not tell this army to move in like 2 independent chunks? I somehow managed to move everything together, although actually England is sieging that back for me, so we'll just merge those armies back. That's fine. We're at 9% war score. Once we've unsieged these, we'll have a little bit more. What are our levies looking like? Yeah, we've not got a great amount. Actually, this is some of our biggest levies here. Now we've got a decent amount of money. What we could do is go into Lyon, go into our... Are they both level? No, so this is a level 2 castle. And we could construct a new building. And we could go and get something that gives us bigger levies or more tax. Military camps gives us 100 levies, plus in our realm, archers, skirmishers, and archers get more damage, and skirmishers get damage and pursuit. Bigger garrison, which is only really for defensive. So yeah, that's heavy infantry damage and spearman damage. Let's go to barracks. Start using our money to construct some buildings. Yep, they're starting to send their armies back in now. England are breaking off their unsieges. I actually wasn't unsieging anything. Yeah, let's go around the mountain and catch them if we can. Intrigue perk available. Hostile scheme success chance plus 25. Yeah, I think that's what we want. That'll help with murder schemes as well, because it's still a hostile scheme. Yeah, they're trying to get their armies away now. We will catch them. I don't know, I think it's this army we're going to catch, but England will come in to reinforce. He might turn this around to try and reinforce this battle. Yep, he is doing, that's fine. So once England's armies get in, yep, that'll easily go our way. See, we've got our marshal in charge again here. I didn't want that to be the case, but... So let's just make sure we change that again. And our commander wants to be you. Because if anyone dies in battle, we want it to be you. Let's go and try and unsiege our land again. So that was two battles, won quite nicely. What issues have we got? We're not bothered about wars that we can declare. We know we can create the duchy, but we can't afford to anyway. Powerful vassals demand council positions, don't they always? And we can ransom you for 30 gold. So sure. He's accepted that. So I'd say things are going reasonably well. Now I control this one directly, and this is a very high level castle with a bailey as well. So we could construct a building that gives us a little bit more tax as well. Maybe wait till we get 150 gold, and then we can build farms and fields. So yeah, let's see if we can take this back. We want 150 gold, so we'll wait till the end of the month. And yes, I can see him trying to siege this out. But we've got the head start here. So there we go. And this is the one where I actually wanted that building, wasn't it? I guess we can't do it while it's being sieged. So, or maybe we can, actually. Yeah, we can't do it because it's under siege. Okay, that's fine. We'll siege this back and then we'll go down there. This siege should actually be relatively quick. Sway, compliments. To make my vassal Count Fernando more susceptible to my attempts at approaching him, I can include a compliment in my next missive to his court. I will be sure to mention his relentless courage, loyalty and sense of humour, or unmatched people skills. So what do we know about him? He's temperate, he's vengeful, and he is humble. I think we will keep it... No. Loyalty and sense of honour. I mean, I was tempted to go keep it short and professional because he's humble. Yeah, he was not swayed. But he is still... he does still like us, mostly. England have unsieged that. That is great. We got a little bit of a boost there because of... I don't know, something happened. There we go. So let's head over here now. Hopefully, we will lose decisively. Was kind of hoping England would come with me there. My last chance, people with claims, you can just leave at this point. I think that's fine. Are you guys just going down there to take Toledo? I guess that makes sense. Oh no, you are sending some units my way. Again, there's no option to tell friendly armies to attach to you either. I know you've never really had a lot of control over allies in a war. Enemy ally joins the war. That's not good. The war's nearly over anyway. If we smash their army up a couple more times... Now this says we're going to lose decisively. We caught half their army there actually. But that'll break the siege. And we're going to chase the rest of it down through the valley. We're also now going to get the farms and fields, because it's no longer under siege. 85%. I mean, we might not even need to... might not even need to siege anything else. We just keep wiping their army out. 93%. So let's come down here to Toledo. Not sure what England's doing right now. Are you involved in any other wars, England? Do you have other problems? No, you're only involved in this war, which I appreciate immensely. We've been good allies throughout this. We've really helped each other out. So his armies are shattering and splitting up all over the place. This one's going this way and pushing through. That's fine. We're on 95%. We'll probably be able to peace out. 96%. He won't accept enforced demands. I mean, maybe he thinks he's still in with a chance. This was always the thing with Paradox games. The AI always thinks it's making gains when it isn't. So this is a level 2 fort. The weight of influence. While I enjoy how willingly Briska does my bidding, her kinsman Infante Anso remains outside my reach. Briska is just the woman to help me change that, however. A liege is responsible for their vassal's actions, will gain lifestyle experience, use a weak hook on Briska. So which one is Briska? So the kid that his daughter is Briska. So use a weak hook on her. 83% fear of consequences, you get a weak hook. 16% unimpressed, and he loses opinion of us. Emphasizing schemes. Briska will help make him fear me. No, we'll go for this one. A higher percentage chances of it working anyway. 83% chance that was going to work. The weight of influence. Infante Anso looks aghast as if Brisca's betrayal is a complete surprise. You are willing to back any demand made by this knave. Brisca plays along, nodding sternly as planned. I smile at my soon-to-be new pawn. Do not for a moment believe she is alone either. Now what I would like to do, you get a weak hook manipulation on Infante Anso. Right, okay. So you are my cousin. Now, were you in any of these factions? Yes, that's you. So, I have a hook on you. So, if I revoke your title... So, he will accept... Even if I don't use the hook, he still might accept. I have a claim on the title, allowing me to revoke it without being viewed as a tyrant. Let's use the hook. Now he has to agree. He has no choice. So he hates me, but he's now lost that title. And that puts me over my domain limit. So that's given me... is it this one over here? This extra one that I don't need. So let's grant this to somebody. Preferably somebody who likes us. Not our spymaster, not a count. Give it to a random baron. Sure. Now that still leaves me over my domain limit because that baron is one of these ones here. Was it? Yeah, so this in Leon there are 2 baronies. And I'd sooner give this one away to someone. But that will make them a count. We could just make a baron here, so we can go ahead and just grant this to a low noble. And then that way, he just becomes our vassal. If we gave this barony to someone, he'd become a count. By giving this barony to someone, he just becomes a baron. So that's better. So that should have helped with the factions now, because this guy doesn't have as much power. He's still in the faction, but he's no longer a count. So these are populists. Populists aren't anyone in particular. Peasants from the county of Faro. Where's Faro? I mean, I could just search for it, right? Search for title. Why am I not seeing it? There. No, not there. Oh, why? Oh, I own this down here. Okay, this I did not know, that I own this random stuff. Oh, no wonder they're trying to rise up against me. And what are they trying to do in their little faction? Independence from their liege. Well, I bet they do. You will be mine soon enough, though, so let's go ahead and take the council. Let's get you to increase control, and... Can we see what the current control is? Let's send you to Pharaoh. I think, is it because it was red? Faiths, cultures, houses, development, governments. Yeah, I don't know which one had the lowest control. Where does it say? Popular opinion minus... Oh, control 3. County control 3 out of 100. County control 67 out of 100. Minus 16. Yeah, so the lower the number, the worse it is. So the red one was the one that we wanted to put the marshal in. That was the right decision. Excellent. Kinsman has died. That is fine. We're at 100% in this war now, so let's just go ahead and enforce demands. So we are now out of this war. Excellent. Get our armies home. Okay, good. Finally out of the wars, for the time being. Factions are still too weak to do anything right now, really. We're going to try and deal with this military power one here, because they want independence. This one could also be problematic, but we could probably get some people out of this. Surprised this guy's still in this one. I wish there was a way to say, can you get out of this scheme, but I don't appear to have an option for that anywhere. Just double check. Remove Guardian off Guardianship. Revoke title. Yeah, no, not an option to ask them to leave. It used to be under the Intrigue thing. But I guess it was only if someone was scheming against you. If someone was scheming, you could ask them to... you could ask an agent to leave a scheme. But you couldn't ask someone to leave a faction. If my memory serves. It has been a while since I played CK2. So we'll allow it to continue on. Are our armies home? They are, so let's just disband. So even though I've just disbanded everything, we still have our men-at-arms. We've actually gained a men-at-arms regiment from somewhere. I don't know where we gained those light footmen from. The light horsemen are the ones that I built. The light footmen may have belonged to somebody else. So what do we have here? At the end of my spymaster Sebastian's latest report, he pauses for a moment. There is something you should know about your court physician. He has many secrets, it seems. If I did not know it to be true, you learn he's a non-believer. Secret, that's fine. I don't mind that. I mean, I guess that gives us a hook on him now. Yeah. So we could blackmail him for a weak hook, or we could expose him. I don't really see any point. So this is our illegitimate child, who is now actually 29. Wow. And is married to an earl. And is there any way we can benefit from this? I don't think there is. Got 2 children of her own. Could legitimize her, but not generally a great reason to. We are pushing... Actually, no, we're only 37 ourselves. Our betrothed is now 13. I can't remember what the age is that you get married in Crusader Kings. It was like 15 or 16. Goodwill. To my surprise, my vassal Count Alvar has come to me, promising me that whatever I need, whatever he can do, he will provide if I ask. What does he get out of this promise? We get a weak hook on him and gain 20 opinions. Interesting. Can declare war, can create a duchy, can lawfully imprison our who. Yes, but why? Where are we? So, she's a known criminal, fornicator. She is a courtier located in Porto. Might succeed. Sure, we'll just try and imprison her. She'll probably get away, but that's fine. No, she's been apprehended and awaits her fate. Who is in our dungeon? You're only 13 and you're locked in our dungeon. Someone will give me 10 gold for you. Out you go. Excellent. We could potentially ransom you off, but he... Oh no, he won't accept. Why not? Unimportant courtier. We could gain 10 dread. Now, shall we do this? Haven't executed anybody yet in this game. Gains 10 dread. Because his faith is considered to be the hostile or evil by my faith, allowing me to execute him without being viewed as a tyrant. Sure, tournament stake. So that gives me 10 dread. Unlocked a new perk for my intrigue. Excellent. So we could actually go for like Torturer here, where we gain extra dread. Can't go through to the... Need to get through these others to get into this one. Hostile schemes +1, you gain the trait schemer. But I do like the thought of actually gaining 30 dread here. Or 30% dread. Because it makes people less likely to start factions against you. Because they're scared of the consequences. So we can actually execute you as well, I think. Is there any reason we want to? So she's considered to be hostile or of evil faith, so we can execute her without being a tyrant. All close family members and her spouse lose opinion of us. All of her friends and lovers lose opinion of us. But she has no relationship. She has no family. She has a child who apparently has no parents or anything. And the kid's sick. So yeah, there's nobody she has. I mean, she's got a liege because she is a... Why does she have a liege? Yeah, I think we can just safely execute her there. So off she goes. That'll give us some more experience towards our lifestyle trait. So we could technically change it now, I think, if we wanted to. Yeah, because you can change it every 5 years. So we could change it, but I don't think I want to. I mean, we could go for this one that would give us some extra dread. Instead of the... Because we've not had a lot of luck with getting agents to actually accept anything we've tried them to do. And we really wanted that at the beginning of the game so that we could get Galicia and Castile, which we did. So we could go for the whole fertility thing for when our wife comes of age. But I think we'll just go for intimidation focus at the minute just to get that 30 natural dread. Because I think that'll help reduce some of these factions down. There's still a few there, but see that guy's left now. Sway infiltrators. It's come to my attention that some local commoners are moving to Pravia, the capital of my vassal Count Fernando. Locals, newly settled or not, praising me can surely do no harm to his perception of me. Take this gold and make sure you're heard. Sway scheme gains, but it's not worth it. He's out of the faction. He's got a positive opinion of us. We'll leave it as is for now. Once that's done, we'll try and sway this guy. This one, I'd still like to get rid of him if possible. I can't use the murder scheme until... Oh wow, that's a long time off. Interesting. Why can't I use the murder scheme? So can you only use the murder scheme if you have skullduggery focus? I shouldn't have thought so. Okay, but why can't I use the murder scheme? If you're not going to let me use a specific thing, give me a reason for it. Cannot use the murder scheme. And again, it won't let me mouse over that. Don't know why. We can denounce him. This will give all members of our dynasty an imprisonment reason against him. We can disinherit him from the line of succession. Because he really doesn't like me. Is there any reason not to denounce him? Gains the trait denounced. He loses 50 opinion of us. Well, who cares anyway? And all house members of him lose 10 opinion of us. But that goes back up by 0.2 a year. Sure, let's go and denounce him. He doesn't like me anyway. So what difference does it make? Count Alvar's friendship. I never expected I would grow as close to Count Alvar as I had done in the past few years. On multiple occasions he has proven himself to be a reliable and forthright man, with only my best interests at heart. It's so rare to find a true friend. With my friends, I'm still not convinced. He loses 5 opinion of us, and we gain 10 stress. I never want to see his face again. He's brave, he's cynical, he's humble, he's a grey eminence. I don't see anything on his personal traits to indicate that he might have the sort of personality that would be trying to screw us over. So sure, let's be friends and see how that turns out. Our barracks has been constructed. Excellent. That's going to help with our income. It certainly wouldn't be a bad idea to try and... County is not of your culture. Oh, we need to do some culture conversion here, actually. I don't know why that's changed. We can construct a new building here. What would give us some additional tax and levies? Pastoral lands, sure. So, how do we do a culture conversion? I'm assuming that's somebody from the council. Promote culture. Improve country's opinion, increase taxes, increase levies. The country changes culture to Castilian. Yep, so you need to be here. Oh, the country. County. No, it's the county. So what county are you? Oh, you're under Leon. I always look where the flag is and think, oh, where's the flag over? But it's because the flag is directly under the barony title. That's what confused me there. So yeah, he's in Leon. So it'll be the county of Leon that flips. Why is our culture weird here? Our culture's like all over the place. No wonder it's taking so long for us to get any tech. I hadn't even realised that. Again, I don't recall seeing any message pop up and telling me, hey, your cultures are all wrong. That would have been something that would have been nice to have seen a little while ago. Because I could have been working on this for some time now. I think he's a fairly decent steward. I'm not necessarily sure if there's anybody who... Wow. I say that. This guy's a mayor with a stewardship of 12. This guy is a count with a stewardship of 21. I mean, he doesn't... Oh, got some with 22. And this one even likes me. We've got a count. He's a knight. Oh, no, you're my new steward. Sorry, fella. He's not going to like it. Now, does it automatically put him in the place? Yes, it does. 22 stewardship. Servants and masters. Garcia Infante Ramiro's courtier is firmly in my grip. However, with the right strategy, I might raise my upper hand even further. Perhaps Garcia could be used to extend my influence over the count. Here's how you will be certain to uncover Ramiro's secrets. We gain Intrigue lifestyle experience. We lose your favour hook. If he has any secrets, one gets revealed. 97% chance that secrets get fabricated. 2% chance that slander is discovered. No, I think we go for that one, actually. Let me just pause up for a second. Can we get a better Chancellor? Well, we could. This guy is a... So you're a Chancellor and Knight, but you're not a Count. So you're not a powerful landowner. So we could give this to somebody who has 21. So let's go ahead and do that. Our Marshal is at 18. He's the best Marshal we can get. Our Spymaster at 15. We've got Mildred here with 19. Doesn't particularly like us. She's a lowborn. She's paranoid, cynical, gluttonous. But then again, our Spymaster isn't particularly useful. I mean, this would... He's 15 because he gains the extra skill point for being the Spymaster. So if she became our Spymaster, that would put her up to 20. If we recruit her to court, she will automatically like us. So we'll assign her as Spymaster. Our current Spymaster's not going to like us much for doing that. And now she's got 28 opinion. We can actually have her finding secrets in Leon, if we wanted to. Because we haven't done that yet. Let's try and find some secrets that we might be able to use on people. Garcia could find no incriminating information about Infante Ramiro, so it was a good thing I had prepared myself. All of a sudden, Ramiro seems to be beset by foul rumours, and I happen to hold all the evidence for them. Fortuna helps those who help themselves. You learn of his sodomite secret. And now for the blackmail. Get a weak hook. Gain intrigue lifestyle experience. No, that's already happened. So we either learn of his secret or we get a blackmail hook. We'll learn of his secret. So now that will appear in our intrigue in hooks and secrets. I'm not sure why we've got hooks for all of these kids. So we can expose these people for blackmail. So you are a count. And my vassal. Are you not? Yes, you are a count. So if I want to blackmail him for a hook, can I modify your feudal contract? High taxes? I do not have an available hook. So if I blackmail him for a hook, he will accept. Lose a weak hook. He loses his opinion of us because we blackmailed him. But now we have that hook. So if we modify his feudal contract, we can go high taxes, use the hook, and he has to say yes. Now, one other things that you can actually do here, as well as raising and lowering taxes and levies, is you can also give them certain things that will make them like you more. So you can basically have like protect them from title revocation, but so by saying, look, I'm signing this thing to say that you cannot have your titles revoked, or I am guaranteeing you a seat on the council, or whenever you want it. You can just demand it, and obviously giving them those gives them more opinion of you, but it's very, very powerful stuff to give away. Wouldn't ever do that unless it was a real, like, desperate situation. So our tax income now is 7.5 gold a month, which is actually not too bad. We've got all those... Are all of our armies actually disbanded right now? Yeah, they're all disbanded. I'm not going to raise any more standing armies at the moment. So, yeah, things are going quite well. Leon has expanded. We do now need to start taking some of this other land. We probably want to go after Sid as quickly as possible so we can sort of join up the rest of what would be modern-day Portugal. We also want probably to move over here and grab Barcelona as well. Greetings, King Alfonso of Leon. In my work at your court, I've failed to find any secrets his spymaster Mildred might possess. However, the truth does not have to stop us. It would be simple to make sure that Mildred suddenly did have secrets and she would not want to get out. Hang on, wait. Get a strong hook on Mildred. Are we asking our spymaster to get hooks on ourselves? Well, no, we'll just actually take the extra opinion from... That was weird. Like our spymaster spying on herself. That seems strange. We'll allow that to carry on, though. We'll allow it to get up to 100% again. So, sister taken prisoner. Right, okay, a few things going on here. Sister taken prisoner. My sister and my niece were captured in a siege somewhere. Didn't realise my sister was married off to anyone. Not really my problem, I don't think. Count Fernando, he's swayed. Okay, he's up to plus 50 now. So now that he's up to plus 50, let's go back into the factions. And this guy who's nearly out. Is this the guy that was my marshal? No, he is my marshal. So we want him to like us. So let's go ahead and try and sway him if we can. 87% chance it's going to work. So that's no bad thing. Again, I wish you could move this orb. Oh, you apparently right-click makes it go away. That is good to know. Do we have any prisoners? We do not. We still haven't... our wife hasn't come of age yet. She is on 15, so soon. When is your birthday? Does it tell us? January. So, another 9 months. The vile fool. Day after day I have to tolerate the presence of my knight Sebastian. Whenever I talk to him, he leers. Is he trying to insult me? I will accept no disrespect from the bed swerver. Someone has to teach him a lesson. I have this poison I've been wanting to try out. Gains the trait wounded. We gain lifestyle experience. He loses opinion of us. It would be a shame if he made a fool of himself at court. So we could spend he'd spend prestige. Have you heard? He's as plain as the flower in bed. Gain 25 intrigue lifestyle experience. He gains questioned abilities as a lover for 1 year. Fertility minus 5%. Let's just get that intrigue lifestyle experience. Our sister's been released from prison. What's happened here? He can no longer continue with increased control. Oh, so that's our marshal down there. Why do you suddenly hate us more? So you were down there trying to increase control. You say it's Puchgal. So did you... Oh, it's because it's being sieged. What? Who is this being sieged by? Are you sieging each other out? You're fighting each other. Fine, whatever. So what is our marshal currently doing? Organising levies. Train commanders for a little bit. We've got some money. Can we give you a gift or something? 140 gold for 17 opinion. Really not worthwhile. You're on the council, dude. Be happy. Hey TCR, thanks very much for the words of encouragement. To be fair, I have been away from... Well, I never used to stream very much, but I've been away from YouTube for quite some time with work and various other commitments. But I am hoping to get back into streaming and making videos full time. I've actually been waiting for a new game to play on the channel because, to be quite honest, there hasn't really been anything that's really grabbed my attention over the last couple of years. And it's absolutely great that CK3 is coming along, and Paradox were good enough to give me a bit of an early copy, so here we are. Espionage lovers. While performing her duties as my spymaster, Mildred has uncovered a secret held by my knight Sebastian. He has secretly taken Gontroda de Castro Urdelis, a noble woman from Bergholm, as a lover. This is useful to know, apparently. Crop fields have now been constructed. Yeah, I think we just keep building up our holdings. I hereby invite you to feast at my court. It will be a grand affair worthy of your honourable presence. You don't like me very much. But I watch you. It might be a bit dodgy. I'm going to be trying to poison you. Every guest is gathered in the Great Hall, and our gracious host has welcomed us all for a feast. Right, let's go ahead and see if we can build anything more here. So you're still building the pastures. Oh, it was this one that finished, was it? This one... I think I've lost a lot of levies suddenly. Is it this one? Yes. That's the one where we built something. Because it's got this level 4 fort, which is just like amazing. We need 300 gold to upgrade the Bailey. That would give us a bigger garrison, more supply limit. Or can we just upgrade the farms and fields? That would be nice. 225. Can't quite afford it yet, so we'll wait and do that when we hit 225. Feast. Mutual spirits. What started out as an ordinary feast became an exceptional one thanks to the presence of Count Rodrigo. We spoke all evening about all manner of subjects as things would have... it seems we have a lot in common. I had such a good time with him. Gained some opinion. Excellent. So, do we want to start trying to pick on some of these neighbours? Let's have a quick look. So, you have a truce with somebody. You have no allies. But, of course, religious wars in... well, I know the way it works in CK2. If you attack somebody of a different religion, basically, the entire religion can dive on you if they want to. Do we still have our alliance with William? Yes, we do, because we've got the betrothal, even though we're not married yet. you're already busy attacking Barcelona, so that'd be an excellent time to go to war with you. Well, at the moment, obviously CK3 doesn't come out until tomorrow, and as is usual when you get early copies of these games, you're not really allowed to give sort of critique. So, you know, no one's allowed to turn around and put a review out until tomorrow that says, you know, whether the game's good, bad, or whatever. What I will say is that what I've played so far, it's very, very similar to CK2. I'm not saying that that's a good or a bad thing, but what I am saying is that if you like CK2 and you know how to play CK2, you'll be able to jump straight in with this. There's not a huge deal of changes, although some things have been simplified, and it feels like it's a lot easier to get into, because to be quite honest, Crusader Kings II was one of the most complicated games that I've ever had to play. Can we declare war on you? Yes, we can. Now, we do have a claim for the kingdom. If we do a holy war... See, holy wars are bad. Also, holy wars cost piety, which we do not have. But we do have a claim for the Empire of Aragon, so we can go ahead and declare that war, which I'm going to. And I'm also going to pause up, and I'm going to bring in England if I can. He might say no. Doesn't like me much at the moment. Call to war. He will accept, actually. I joined all of his wars. There's no reason why he shouldn't join mine. Let's raise all armies. I probably don't need him, but it's always worthwhile having the extra manpower. Feast all over my new shirt. We could all tell Count Rodrigo had too much to drink, even though he insisted on showing us how sober he was. Simply rising from his seat proved too much for him, and now I'm covered in stinking vomit. You ought to be ashamed of yourself, Rodrigo. He spends prestige and loses opinion of us, or I gain 10 stress and spend the prestige and he gains opinion of us. Sure, I'll gain the stress for now. Right, our army's getting up to full strength nearly. Of course I shall join you in your war. Excelente. Right, there we go. There is full strength army. Let's go march over here, sit in their capital. Feast, the dilemma. The feast is dwindling down and I find myself deep in conversation with my ruinous vassal, Mayor Alfonso. His inquiries about my opinion on the rumours at court, a subject he is deeply interested in himself. So he doesn't particularly like me. It's a subject that fascinates me as well. He gains opinion of us. Supposed to form a friendship. No, we'll just take the extra opinion. I don't really need any more friends. You are heading out to the east. Returning home, what a feast. I will remember the day spent in Count Gutierrez's halls for a long time to come. Now it is time to wash off the traces of merriment and wine and vomit, and once more resume my duties as a lord of the realm. And that actually reduces my stress by 22. So a lot of these decisions now actually reduce stress. Apparently if you get a pet, you can stroke the pet to reduce stress. And as a dog owner, I can say that is true. So hopefully William will be coming down here with his armies soon. It's not really a big issue. The guy that I'm at war with is currently fighting Barcelona anyway. If we just have a look who is in this war. Not too sure why that is showing in blue. I don't think it should be. He's got no allies in there anyway. Sure, that should be red. It's weird. I was trying to find the thing where you could see who you were at war with, like if there was a diplomacy map, but too many pop-ups. Espionage, lovers. While performing her duties as my spymaster, Mildred has uncovered a secret held by my vassal, Count Gautier. He has secretly taken Countess Zemina, the wife of my steward, Count Gomez, as a lover. Oh, that's not good. Useful to know, though. Okay, pause. Where do I see faiths, cultures, houses, empire titles, kingdom titles? I guess I know I'm at war because it's got the red outline around it, the red border. This rubbish is still going on down here as well. Okay, that's fine then. I definitely had a thing up earlier where I was able to get the whole countries in red, and yeah, I can't see it now. Surely that should be red. No idea. Okay, let's zoom back in and let this continue. So we've got a relatively large army there on his capital. That siege is going to take a maximum of 5 months. Here comes William with a 5k stack. Intrigue perk available. Excellent. So now we are going to go... Do we want to take any more of these? Marshal per stress level plus... Now this is thriving in chaos. So this is actually a perk for increasing your stress level. So as your stress level increases, so does your martial and your intrigue and your prowess. But that means running at high stress, which carries certain risks, which you don't necessarily want. We could take Dark Insight. That means when we torture somebody, we can gain intrigue or prowess, but it's risky. Seduction scheme success chance we don't really need. Find secrets progress speed. Enemy hostile scheme success chance -25. Sure, let's try and finish off this tree if we can, because then we could ultimately gain schemer, which gives us +5 intrigue, and we're already on 23 intrigue. So if and +25% hostile scheme power. Now, what I think this thing is here, obviously the picking the lifestyle choices is something that came from the Way of Life DLC in Crusader Kings II. But also I think this takes on a little bit of the Monks and Mystics DLC, where you could basically join various different like covens or factions or whatever. You could join these various different organisations like the Masons and whatnot, and get different skills, which is a little bit like what you're doing here, but they've kind of mixed those two things together, which I'm okay with. Again, I do think there's been a lot done to try and simplify CK3. I loved CK2, but one of the biggest problems I had with CK2, especially when trying to press other people's claims, it was often an absolute nightmare trying to work out, if you pressed someone's claim, who would gain what. And the number of times I would press a claim for somebody else, and then all of a sudden they would become an independent character and I would lose the land, and I'm like, that's not what I was expecting or intending. I noticed the AI here still got a few problems. Betrothal fulfilled. Okay, so we are now married to new wifey here, who, that's actually not bad. She's got 10 on the old intrigue there. Doesn't like me much. Can we romance her? 0% chance of that happening, apparently. Does it say why? The opinion of me is -25%. Predicted success chance, 0%. Seduce, still 0. Can we sway you? 64% chance. There we go. Let's try and get our own wife to like us just a little bit. We're still lacking a male heir. We do have a female heir, who's currently 8 years old, but we've got an illegitimate. That can't be right. How many children do we have? Because we also have an illegitimate child with an ex-lover who is an adult married, and I'm sure our daughter was born first. Strange. Won the siege. You've finished the find secrets task. Okay. I failed to find any secrets. Just improve that. So now that you've done, let us go to the council and have you disrupting schemes, just in case anyone's trying to do anything against us. Factions. There are a couple against us. Nothing particularly terrible. See, these numbers need moving. That looks like he's on -3 and he's not. He's on -34. The panels are overlapping. If you're going to overlap them, left over right, don't put the flipping thing down in that corner. Put it up in the top left. You've put it in the one of the two corners that gets overlapped. I'd sooner see all this info than their house flag. The house flag is the least important thing on this portrait. So this guy is my vassal and my marshal. He's not very happy with me still. We've tried sucking up to him. We could give him some money, but I don't think it's really going to help. I did also want to improve this place here by upgrading these fields. So let's go ahead and do that. Spend most of our money. Apparently we've won a siege over here. England are helping siege a few things out as well. Let's go down here and grab... Actually, no, let's go and grab this other fort to the north. It's safer. So their army's actually fighting Barcelona down here. That's fine. That keeps me nice and safe. Your culture has joined the high medieval era. New innovations are available. So if we go and look at our culture, so high medieval, I think you can actually still work on older stuff. So we're still working on burrs. We will move over to this. We're not getting an awful lot of culture at the moment, because our country is the incorrect culture. Yeah, we want everything to be Castilian. And you 18 months left for you to convert the... So it is flipping over like bit by bit. We need to get everything over to Castilian. So, back to the war. We have a maximum of 4 months on this. Now, are you guys... Well, you can't challenge any of these armies. You might try and unsiege that. Yeah, when England's going to break their siege and come and attack you, and then you're instantly going to walk up again. That is fine. Although I think this province is actually held by Barcelona, so it wouldn't be too bad if they unsiege that, because then we can grab it. But we should be able to get a 100% war score anyway. My glory is widely known. Gained a new level of fame. So that is our fame. Prestige. Renown. Where do you find your... reputable. Children are born with 400 prestige. Marrying into a dynasty gives 300 prestige. Rulers get a maximum of plus 25 year long reign opinion. Next level is well known. Okay, so yeah, England's fighting their armies down here. And probably going to win. Looks like these guys have got a lot more specialised units. Obviously they do have horsemen, and the horsemen aren't doing very well in the hills. Their pikemen are fighting in favourable terrain. The skirmishers are just kind of like, but the horses, it's not good for the horses. So that fight should be won quite easily. There's that siege, and this siege should be fine. 100% actually. We can just go straight ahead and enforce our demands. So we get the Emirate of Aragon. We gain 100 fame. This is about fame, is that? But it says, you look up here, we've got prestige. And we've got renown, but this talks about fame. So each point of fame a character gets increases their progress towards the next level of fame. When a character gains prestige, they also gain an equal amount of fame. Allies share 100 prestige based on their contribution. This guy becomes my vassal. 7 force demands. So as expected, gain the contested title, and our lands are growing. So we can disband all. We're not over our domain limit. That is good. This guy's probably going to be a little bit upset. So he is a duke. He really doesn't like us, but that's fine. Can live with that. We've got a lot of infighting going. But there isn't a huge amount we can do about that unless we want to change laws. We'd have to be like... because this is our current law. So we lose 10 vassal opinion. But we do get plus 10% vassal levy and tax contribution. Rulers can change between all available succession laws. Vassals cannot wage war against other vassals unless they use a hook on their liege. Vassals' titles cannot be inherited by characters outside the realm. Clan government vassals will provide at least 15% of levies and 5% income. I mean, we could go back down. Rulers can change between... Yeah, it doesn't make a lot of difference. I'll just leave it as it is. Should be fine. Should be. We'll keep fingers crossed and hope for the best. So, wow, this is a lot of people here. Some of my councillors believe the job is theirs by right of blood or influence alone. How wrong they are. I expect results, yet I am often disappointed. After a long day, I am complaining to Agthi, when she interrupts me. Let me do something about it, husband. A few lessons might sharpen their wits. Chancellor Paleo could use a tutor. He would lose 15 opinion of us. Marshal Rodrigo could benefit from your help. He would lose opinion of us. Or Archbishop is in need of some guidance. He would gain opinion. And as we can't change him and his learning isn't that high... Actually, no, stay here with me instead. Well, yeah, this is what we want. A male heir. She's going to lay with us. If I could have got positive opinion with our Marshal, that might have been the option to go for. But in this case, no. So we do want to try and take out the rest of basically Hispania. Because we want to be able to create that title. My Marshal has been showing off a promising new recruit. He may not be as noble stock as you, my liege, but on my name I swear that Arilu is someone you would want on your side. Very well, Arilu, you may serve me. Get this dreg out of my castle. You're a bold lackey. Yeah, you got decent marshal though. You're a flexible leader, a brilliant strategist, and a master hunter. Sure. So, let me look at titles. I guess can we create a title yet? We could only create the Duchy of Algarve. And we could declare some wars, and we definitely will be doing that. I wonder if these things ever go away. I guess they don't. We're still a sinner, apparently. This does appear to be increasing. I think you can get rid of the sinner if you go on, like, a pilgrimage. Go on a pilgrimage will be unavailable for 15 years. You may choose a destination among your faith's holy sites. The further you travel, the more piety you will gain. I thought there was a way where you could get rid of it. Convert to the culture of your capital. Yeah, well, we want to make sure the capital is the right culture there. So we'll allow that to carry on. So yeah, I'm quite happy with the progress there. From humble beginnings, we now have, I don't know, about a third of Iberia. We should be able to see that this title is part of, yeah, the Empire of Hispania. So we need 67 de jure counties to form, and we only have 36, and it'll cost us 1,000 gold. So we need to grab another 31 counties. And that's not too bad, actually. I think we can probably do that. Siege, was that old siege? 6th of November. Yeah, that's from that old war. Whatever was going on down here appears to have stopped. The control down here is still really low. So let's go ahead and put our... I always click the wrong button every time. Let's go ahead and put the Marshal back down here and get him working on fixing that. Decent amount of money coming in. Right, there we are. Well, I was only planning originally to stream for about 2 hours, and it's been 3.5 hours in. So I'm going to end this here. If you did miss any of this stream, I am going to upload this video onto YouTube, so you'll be able to watch it through. And I will carry on streaming over the next few days. We'll carry on with this game. I'll also be starting a Let's Play series of CK3 on the channel. and probably even doing some tutorial videos and maybe a really sort of not ultra deep review, but I like to do sort of just first impressions videos on various things. So if you are new to the channel and you've enjoyed this stream, please do feel free to like and subscribe. Remember to click that little bell icon because YouTube is absolutely terrible at letting people know when new videos have gone up. And I would like to thank you all very much for coming along and say that I will see you on the next video. So until then, goodbye for now.